Quiet on set! Hey, professionalism, ayikho la.
That's someone who's gonna make
Mbali,
it.
can we roll? Mbali, are we good? Yeah, but you must let us know for Guys, welcome to episode 2, I think, of like the new format, Dope Conversations. Really, really appreciated all the support we got from you guys, all the comments. I think I'll go through some of them while we're chatting. But just to acknowledge all the people in the room, Sia, I see you, Swaggy, Mbali, Asbo visiting us from last week. We've got a fresh from Cape Town, Lonwabo. Lonnie's visiting us as well. Maybe you'll hear from them in the back. Opu Tembela, who's our Grootman and our godfather, the head of production. And as always, the beautiful, talented...
As always,
Miss Ursula Mariani. Nice to see you, Ursh. How have you been? Please speak to the peeps.
I've been good, Pen. How are you?
It's been a couple of days. It hasn't even been a week, to be honest, since we dropped. So
Yeah.
because we're filming this on Monday, the 12th of August, just as a reference.
I keep coming to your show. When are you coming to TCC?
Hey, the thing is, the way my life is set up, hey.
Oh.
Hey, get busy.
Oh.
And the thing about my brand and value can't just be,
But I'm so glad it's warming up.
Yeah, from last week.
No, I'm grateful for
We're
the
doing
summer
weather. So as we learn, I sent you guys this in the WhatsApp group. This template, thanking like all the members and the support, going over key feedback, which I'll do in the comments. Some of the feedback was you guys said that we must get a mic at the back for the people. Who organized the mic? Just don't want to give the wrong person credit. Shout out to Mbali for getting the mic, so hopefully the people in the back will be more audible. Swaggy edited last week's episode, so if you have any issues with editing, and then this week I think it's going to be Usia. So
Swaggy, my surname's Mariani,
jeez,
not Mariana.
it's fair. It's
okay.
Mariana flows better,
Mariana, Mariano, there's a lot of variation, so it's okay. Nah, it's
right? Okay.
cool.
And then I put list of things that like, and look, I'm reading this out even for you guys so that you can help guide us in terms of the type of content and things you want us to discuss. We can always come up with our own list of topics, but there are certain things that you guys might want to hear my opinion, Ursula, the guys in the room, or whichever other co-host we may have on any other day. Sports, politics, music, celebrity gossip, trending stories on Twitter, and then I guess personal life updates as well, as you told us about your trip to China
Yes.
last week.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You gave me one talking point, and maybe we'll start there. Rachel Gunn, what's that about?
This Australian lady says, hey, Amadas, apparently she is a choreographer and she goes to the Olympics to do breakdancing.
As a sport? As a sport?
Yeah.
Yeah, because breakdancing is a sport now at
She's
the
their
Olympics.
pouncing cat. So it was hilarious. Everybody's just talking about the goal, the liver, sibiti that you should have just to rock up at a breakdancing competition all the way. And I don't know, don't they vet these people at national level?
Are you saying she made a joke of it? Like going to idols and
Yeah, no. It was
fighting for wooden mic?
I don't think she was. I don't know. But I think she also thought it was funny, haha. I'm not. Do you guys think it looked like she thought it was funny?
Do you think she intentionally?
I really don't know. The snippets that I caught was just like, wow, the guts you should have. It doesn't look like she's breakdanced a day in her life.
So we must go check out Rachel Gunn on social media.
Yeah, it
and
was
see the
going
video.
around. It was going. I'm sure a lot of people.
I saw a video of someone trying to pole vault, and so people are like, when you make the Olympics by accident.
Who was that lady that ran with the hijab? I think she was from Somalia.
I don't know her name.
Yeah,
but I know
it was
one of the
something like
last
that.
medals as well was a lady wearing a hijab.
No, this is the one that did like a little. She tried to run, and then when they ran past her, she did like a skip and a hop to the end. Yeah,
This was at the Olympics?
not this year.
Oh, a while back.
Not this year, a while back. So it was the racial card was a similar thing where there was a skip and a hop to the end.
Okay. Again, guys, thank you so much for your comments, man. There are comments I feel like evading. The ones about me and Ursula.
Oh yes.
Do you have a comment?
Silence in the room.
Is everyone quiet? Do you have a comment?
No, I don't have a comment.
But guys, please stop speaking about me and Pen.
No,
They must carry on speaking.
they can do their thing.
Guys, yazi ngizogeja intombi lo eningihlanganisa no Ush. Because now there's probably girls like reading this like, oh, they're probably dating, so Penny is probably not available. You know what I mean?
I was worried about the same thing for myself. Now that we're honest.
Are you available?
Yeah.
Huh?
Anguza.
Bo, Ursh is your friend.
Whoa, exactly.
And?
She's my friend. No, please, I'm trying to cash in on my investment here.
Cash in on your investment, my friend.
Gents-
Marauna
gents-
ring.
gents-
ring.
Gents would like to know.
Hauna
though.
ring, pen.
Gents would like to know.
Pen, marauna
Who
ring.
are the
This is
gents?
your chance. There's is it dating with Dumi? There's something on Twitter where people post their what is Azol? There's some hashtag on Twitter.
I don't want to be in trouble, guys.
Be like, hi guys, I'm Ursula Mariani.
Next thing I'm like, hey.
I'm pleasantly available. I'm a good Christian woman. Yes, I have an ugly laugh, but you know.
Excuse?
Oh, that's not a.
You're so annoying.
Yo, we ride at dawn, Ursula, don't worry.
Did you see some of the people that were catching feelings? Like, yeah, but she laughs at everyone's jokes. It's
Which
not just
is
with
true.
pen.
Which is true.
But maybe you laugh harder with mine.
No, but people actually, those people love me. So I just saw people that love me and people that love you.
But you laugh harder with me.
Really?
Laugh.
Have,
hard,
have,
laugh.
you, have
laugh,
you seen
laugh
me laugh
harder.
with other people? Because I like
Do you
to
laugh
my
with
neck
other
like,
people?
I'm like, with other people.
Or with
You
me,
see
it's
my foot? It's like,
right. Yeah, a lot of the comments were about me and you. Some comments about you, Chidimma. And this past Saturday, we had Miss Essay. Shout out to Mia Leroux. So Mia Leroux won Miss South Africa, and one of the tweets that trended was Burna Boy, global superstar from Nigeria, who was like, you know, South Africans went and chastised this lady, Chidimma Adetshina, and then next thing, this white lady's winning. And almost that whole thing of, you guys are fine with white people winning, but it's an issue when like other black people are contesting. Do you have opinions on that? Because I mean, when we recorded, we hadn't had the pageant, and I think some of the things had been confirmed, like that her mom had stolen identity and was from Mozambique.
I think it's a difficult one to have an opinion on, because, I mean, white people are South African, right?
There are South Africans who are white, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
There are South Africans who are white, and to say anything contrary to that would be to go against my forefathers, Nelson Mandela.
Ow.
Who, you know, just anointed this place a rainbow nation.
Yazi, Helen Zilla's parents are not South African, by the way. She's almost like Chidimma, except the part about like the stolen identity. And that whole thing of the fact that...
Okay, on a serious note,
Yeah.
we really do have to backtrack to this whole, what makes somebody South African? When does somebody begin, you know? Like you had said, you had brought up a good point and somebody highlighted it again in the
comments.
to say Chidimma is going to be an ambassador of South Africa, yet it seems as though
She's
you know,
not pro-South African.
she's not pro-South
proudly.
African. That was something that I agreed with, and I
Yeah.
still do agree with. Outside of that, though, I don't think there's anything wrong with somebody who's first generation South African, you know, going forward. I think the bigger thing in this case that we need to look at it and highlight is that this new girl has a hearing disability.
Did you watch the pageant?
I didn't watch the
I think a
pageant.
lot of people, like, the hype for the pageant fell off because she pulled out. I think if she was still competing, like, people would have actually watched. So I don't know, like, it's kind of... I don't know if they made a good call. Maybe people would have boycotted. Maybe it would have been, like, a thing. But I know a lot of people are going to be watching just to see her and to
Actually-
hear her speak.
Would you pull out? I can imagine that I'd pull out.
Would I what?
Would you pull out? Pull out of the pageant. This is so bad. I heard it. I'm sorry.
Straight into it.
I walked right into
I would always pull out. I would always pull out. Because it's the right thing to do.
No, I'm not laughing. Otherwise, I'm going to be accused of laughing too much with Ben.
Not
Okay.
me what?
Excuse me.
Did you guys watch the pageant? Do you care about the pageant? Didn't watch, don't care. So this white lady is trending. She took over from, I think, Natasha Hubert from last year. She has a hearing disability, profound. And I think as the pictures trend, people won't pick up on that. So it's almost inclusivity, making sure that people are represented. And she's the first. She makes history as the first Miss South Africa that is hard of hearing. And if you consider that last year, sign language became an official language. We've got 12 now. I think that's quite key. There's a lady I've sat with on the panel show. Her name was Andiswa. Gebashe, she was there as well, and she's a huge activist in sign language. Her father, not speaks, that's wrong, right? You don't speak sign language. Her father signs. So in her home, they all sign. And she went to, I don't know if you'd call it a deaf school, even though she can speak. So I can imagine she must have been really, really excited.
No, yeah,
about
that's
this and
what
what
I'm saying.
this
For
will
me,
mean.
that is the bigger story.
Yeah.
But now it's removed a lot of attention away from that. But this is a win for the deaf community.
Yeah, I think so. The importance of Miss South Africa being inclusive as a concept, where it's like every year now we're looking for the first trans, the first hard of hearing, the first wasn't born in South Africa. Is that something that Miss South Africa should be getting involved in, that we're going to be a platform for inclusivity, even though people may not necessarily like it?
Sure, I don't think I don't think SA has really overdone it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I
Sure.
hear how if that becomes the center, then it could be a bit of an overkill. But so far, no. I don't think we've overdone it.
Sure. I wish we'd watched it so that we could actually be like, we think it was a fair win.
True.
Or maybe it feels like they were doing it just nje.
True. I haven't watched Miss SA in a while, and I used to watch it religiously, but
Sure.
I haven't watched it in a while.
I have an issue with Miss SA because I saw that the panel was all female.
Okay.
Do you think that's fair? I know it's Women's Month and we're celebrating women and it's a beauty
I
pageant.
think it's
and-
absolutely fair. Why?
Do you guys think it's fair that a Miss South Africa is only picked by women?
No. It becomes biased in a way.
How so?
Bias how?
Maybe the bigger question is, should men be on the should men not be the ones picking who they think is the woman that is like pretty and represents SA?
Why?
No, the guys can answer. With Mr. South Africa, where women are the ones saying, hey, this is the Mr. South Africa we won. And if people, the women will be the ones complaining and say, why would you pick this guy? We don't like him. Kind of.
Who's on the panel for men, Mr. South Africa?
No one watches Mr. South Africa. No one cares about that stuff. I bring it out, Ibaba. You're on your own.
But why?
Why would you guys want men on the panel? How?
To be represented.
Yeah, I'm a South African. I deserve to, put my 2 cents there.
Okay.
You guys say the women are biased. Swaggy. Sorry, that was Usia speaking.
Yeah,
I'm going to
Usia.
try and say the names.
I'm saying for sake of equality,
That's all. So 50-50 panel.
Yeah.
Some men, some women.
Yeah.
Guys, how many panels have men been sitting on?
Oh, like a young LGBT.
Utin Bali? Why are you mumbling?
Lesbians,
Lesbians on the
yeah,
panel.
but not like.
He
Guys,
says
first of all-
LGBTQ on
first
the
of
panel.
all, Miss SA is not a sexual competition.
Is it not?
No, it's not.
What is it?
It's a beauty pageant.
Beauty is... They like naked, strutting their bodies on the stage. That's
No,
sexualized.
guys.
Question though.
Do you
Sorry.
sexualize bodybuilding?
I'm a man. I'd have to ask you that. Hence the panel. Do you look at men that are doing bodybuilding and say,
No.
oh, what
No.
good art?
No. Well, good art, yes, but I don't look
You
at
don't
them
think
and
other women look at the guys when they're busy doing their muscle thing like, ooh,
No.
I'd want him to
No,
scoop me up.
Ben. No. Don't you want a girl that will scoop you up?
For what?
When you look at bodybuilders, they're female bodybuilders as well.
No.
Sorry,
Yes, sir.
Slim has something to say. Slim, do you think that men should be part of the panel?
Gee, Slim being put on the spot. Welcome, Slim.
What's up, brother?
And she be
Do I think men should be put on the panel for?
shame.
I don't believe in pageants
How way?
at all. I think they're a scam. I think
Ah,
they're a business.
get out of here. Get
and
out
they
of here. Your
use women
opinion has
to-
no weight.
Huh? They exploit women. And
They
they take it.
exploit women.
100%. And they willingly go, which makes it even worse.
Why
You're in
exploit?
hip hop, bro.
Why
Your whole
exploit?
industry is about women bouncing up and down on screen.
It's a little different. A little different. A little
I
different.
wish you could see Slim's face.
I got a meeting, by the way.
Ah, of course you do.
Yeah, so bodybuilding, I think
No, I
men
think
have been on panels for a long time and nobody ever says anything. Pen, give us a chance.
no. So I don't think Miss South Africa is about or should be about inclusivity. Today we celebrate an all-woman panel. I really think Miss South Africa should represent, as far as possible, a beautiful South African woman that's also intelligent. And I think men being like, I know, no, this one is the one, I think is also important because it also means that men will have a vested interest. We'd also have a vested interest in the men that are picking Miss South Africa, because it's one thing for girls to be like, wow, this girl really represents us. It's another one for the gents to also be like, yeah, you see, this is our girl, this. We can't wait for her to go to Miss Universe and show them because, you know, swaggy.
Why do you want it to be women only?
I don't want it to be women only. I think it shouldn't matter. I think they picked the best judges.
The best judges.
Yeah. And that's what they went on. There's
Now
been
you make
male
me want to
judges
research the judges.
No, but there's been male judges in the past. As in, like, they just selected a panel that was great. Why can't you just... Why does it have to be, oh, why are they women only?
This
come
is
on.
like idols, right? You get someone who can't even sing. They busy telling you, well, you can't sing well. You're like, hey,
Which judge can't sing?
So easy.
hey, take it easy, Sia. Take it easy.
But he's been in the music industry. He works on radio.
So he's actually he's got songs, actually, and music videos.
Can I ask a question? As you said, like, Somiz has been on radio and has been in music. So if we allow or let men be part of the panel, shouldn't there be people that have experience in that field as well, like in the beauty pageant field? And they know what criteria is being looked for instead of just like one flat 2-dimension value. You get me?
Yeah, Tempela, that makes sense. Sorry, these are the judges, just for people. Leandri Durant. She used to be a judge for Crown Chasers. Lerato Khanyago.
Oh.
What's that now?
Yo, that was a response, yo.
What response is that?
Yeah, what was that response?
Joanne Strauss, so to Tempela's point, a former Miss South Africa.
Miss World even.
Joanne and Miss World. Okay. Rolene Strauss as well.
No, sorry. Rolene is the one that
Sure.
was Miss
Rolene
World.
Strauss as well. So yeah, these judges actually have merit. And Tembi Siete. Tembi Siete, Lerato Khanyago, that's representation. Those are the black women they had. In the past they've had Anelem daughter. Who said yo? Who said yo? Jeez. In the past, Anelem daughter has been one of the judges, as an example.
I think that's amazing.
But at least
You
it's
know
some
what?
of the women have won before, and some of the women are
And
seen as.
Miss SA has been doing great with regards to representing us, guys. How many Miss Worlds have we had? How many Miss Universes have we had? Like, I trust whoever chose those judges.
Zosibini.
Yes, we've got Zosibini, we've got Rolene.
Zosibini was loved by everyone. That's when you pick well.
But there was somebody else who went into top 2 as well.
I don't remember.
No, I'm talking about now the global stages. So Miss
I
Universe
don't know.
and
Was
Miss
it
World.
not was she not colored lady?
I think it could be Tamron Green if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure either. But basically, we've been picking really well. Global stages, Miss World, Miss Universe, Rafitla, and we do at least top 20.
So consider this, right? There's a chance that Utembi Siete and Lerato Khanyago would never have been won Miss South Africa. But they may be the type of women that South African gents find appealing.
Okay.
If gents had to vote, it's like, say, Tembi Siete. Nomzamumba, obvious, Donayam.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if it's just an all-women panel, those women that are even on the panel outside of the ones that have won before, they may not have been picked. Especially things like height,
No, but it's not
slender.
about- a judge shouldn't be somebody that could have been picked. A judge should be somebody who with a good eye, who
No,
can
I hear you.
nominate
I'm
someone.
saying the irony of the fact that imagine getting some of the women that men find appealing, judging, but those women would not have won in the past because men don't get to pick Miss South Africa.
Okay.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So if you're going to have an all-women panel, maybe
Yes.
put it this way. If you're going to have an all-women panel, let everyone vote, including men, on who should be on the panel because we kind of trust their judgment. All right?
So are you saying men didn't vote for the panel? You don't know that.
No, I'm saying men don't get to have a say in Miss SA because we speak about the panel being all female. That it's not some man there being like, no, but gents like a bit of meat, and you're like, that's my boy. That's my boy right there. Why did you pick? I know what the gents out there are into.
Once again,
And I
though-
know as soon as she started speaking, I knew my homies at the back were like, that's the one. So I'm like, I'm going with, and the gents are like, that's my boy. Bring him back next year.
No, but then once again, the argument goes back to: are we picking for what appeals to the South African population, or are we picking to what appeals to? Because Miss SA has now become about, because of those Osibinis, it's become about the people that will represent us on a global stage. So we need people that are going to choose. Is saying that's my boy. I don't think that's my boy.
That's my boy.
Re hloka people that are going to pick people that will represent us on a global stage and win.
And you don't think men have that quality
I'm
to
not
be able
saying
to
that
pick?
they don't. They have in the past. And I'm saying right now, it's been decided that these women are the ones that are going to decide which woman represents us on a global stage, and there's nothing wrong with that.
If it's an all-woman affair, that means then we don't even have to watch as gents, right?
Hey,
'Cause
Penska
we're
watcha
excluded.
hey.
No, I'm just saying, we're excluded.
You're
We'll
not
watch, Slim is not here, we'll watch hip-hop videos.
1 year of an all-woman panel and you are dying. 1 year.
Anyways, that was my 2 cents. Me, I think men should be allowed to do those things. So yeah, I spoke about Burner
But
Boy.
also though, no. Do
Burner
speak
doesn't
of,
do himself favors in this country, man. Sorry.
you're complaining based on 1 year that women...
No, I don't know who have been the judges in the past and whether a man was available or not. And even if that man was Usomizi, I like Usomizi, but I don't know if he represents. So for me, if we're speaking Miss South Africa that represents South Africans on a global stage, and it's this pageant, it's like a president. It's like we'd like to have, because we also get to vote, right? It's like, vote for this person. It's like, why are we voting for a bunch of women that don't even speak to what gents are into? And then who is on the panel picking these women? And it's a bunch of other women.
Okay, but then are you
who also
supporting
fall into
Mr.
this-
Essay?
I don't care about Mr. Essay.
But then why do you care so much about Mr. Essay?
Because it's a thing.
No, guys, I find this
Besides-
unfair. If
besides
you're
being
saying, oh,
topical-
we don't get support, and then go support your guys.
No, it's not the... So, no. That doesn't even make sense. Why would we be looking at other men wearing Speedos?
Okay, so you won't comment on other men wearing Speedos, but you want to comment on women wearing bikinis.
Who do you think they're wearing the bikinis for? Wait, who do you think they're wearing the bikinis for? I'm just asking. Just for vibes.
It's not
Do you
for
think when they
men.
stand half naked, they're looking pretty? It's for other women?
They're celebrating beauty, like art.
But here's the thing then.
Guys, it's art. It's not sexualized. Like, I
It's
keep saying
not.
this.
You're coming back to this
Pen,
thing.
here's
I
the thing.
promise you.
Yes, Timber.
If you looking at it like that, that's why then men should not, because you're looking at women from a male gaze and with a male perspective rather than looking what's critical. So then by that virtue, you should not be allowed to participate in
Ooh, on the
judging.
deaf. Ooh, on the deaf. It's a beauty pageant. It's a beauty pageant. Yes, I'm meant to gaze because it's like, she's beautiful.
The hottest mommy.
Thanks,
You
man.
cannot be a judge.
Who's the hottest mommy? What is the hottest mommy? Who's the hottest one?
No, I am grateful. Just from this room, I am grateful that there were no male judges. This is proof why there shouldn't be male judges.
Anyways, I think it's lame. And I think men should have a say in who is Miss South Africa. And I think women should have a huge say in who Mr. South Africa is, to a point where you almost want to hold Mr. South Africa to a high regard, where young boys, it's like, I'm not really sure what I should aspire to. And it's like, oh, women have said that guy there. That's the guy you guys should be aspiring to. Right now, it's airy fairy and Asaz.
So you're saying
That's why we'll speak about Zosbini. She was cool, but we don't speak about all the other Miss South Africas because we don't really know and we don't really care about them. We don't.
But we're trying to pick another Zosibini. But you know Rolene. Rolene was Miss World 2014.
Okay?
You know what I mean? And she,
But what does that mean?
what I'm saying is that we've managed to choose amazing people.
No, she might win a pageant. I'm just saying, for South Africans, is she? When we speak Siya Kolisi, when, like, do you say, yo, yeah, Antoine, I think in this debate, Bizanu Zosbini, because, hey, she's got us. You know, on Twitter, you'll have these South Africans who, like people speak about AKA, RIP. With the whole Niger, what, people are like, yo, if AKA was here, boy. And even now with Burner Boy busy dragging South Africans, it's like, if only Kenan was here, boy. This is our fighter. Like Gaten McKenzie now. This is our boy.
No, but
Mind you, want to Miss South Africa that's going to get there and be like, Excel, just want to say what's up to everyone in South Africa. Tyler's a good example. Tyler goes on international platforms and she's proudly colored. And she's like,
what the heck?
I'm from South Africa and what's what. You're like, okay. Mind you, if it's someone who's high,
No, but
so I
that's
represent,
but that's the pageant world, guys.
it must change.
Because of South Africa. Are you guys listening to
No,
yourself?
because of what is it meant to represent?
Pen mbonile bonang.
What's you? See?
Yo.
I saw a clip of her interviewing Mia Leroux or asking her a question. Flaming. Yo, take it easy. Have a glass of water or
Till this
some.
day.
Jeez, have a glass of water or
That's a
some.
serious crush you have there. No, but she did look beautiful. She looked stunning. She looked really
Apparently that dress she wore was a Nigerian
Yes.
designer.
Yes, yeah, the giant
dun,
of
dun,
Africa, of
dun.
course.
Do you think that was
looks stunning.
done on purpose?
Oh, No, but I think Bonang often wears Nigerian design. I don't think she was trying to be shady. No, or like trying to throw shade. No, I don't think that was on purpose. She looked beautiful. She looked beautiful.
The bottom line is that a lot of South Africans on social media were happy. They were happy that Chidimma's out, and it almost didn't matter thereafter. And for me, the sad thing about some of these things is, like umlilo amaphepha, lot of noise and hype, but we're actually not gonna have takeouts that make sense. Where, do you remember what happened in the 2024?
What's takeout that would make sense?
For example, we're now questioning who should be a Miss South Africa. Do you remember since 2024 there was that lady, and now we've changed the criteria to blue X because of her. But it's just gonna be this, and then life moves on.
I hear you.
So, for example, with Mia winning, it would be nice for South Africans again to actually sit and be like, now that Chidimma didn't win, and maybe we're happy for whatever reason, are we happy with Mia winning? And does she represent what we think a Miss South Africa should represent? Or are we still not happy? So that this thing can actually be changed. It's not enough to say that Afrikaans must be taken out of schools, but we also don't want English in schools. Why are we not learning in our mother tongues? Otherwise, what was the point?
This is a difficult one for me because I keep going back to competing on a global stage, and I don't know
Why are you so obsessed with the global stage?
Well, specifically in the pageantry world, that's like the pinnacle. It's like saying,
Should it not matter even if we lose there, as long as the person represents us?
I don't think so.
Do we want to win by technicality? So let's get a tall, blonde, thin, blue-eyed woman, because globally she'll win Miss Universe. So it doesn't matter as long
But
as
that's
she
not
meets that
true, because
criteria.
Ozibini
Now I'm
won.
asking. I understand.
Uh-huh.
But it was a hype because she looked different.
Yes.
And we like her because she felt like us. So even if she lost, I'd like to think we would have still liked her.
Guys, I must be honest, when Rolene won Miss World, I was in varsity and I was obsessed.
Ungamla.
Yes. You know what? This is the thing. I really do feel there is. Yeah, it's a difficult conversation to have because.
Would you have felt the same if it was a black
And she
woman?
was a medical doctor. I remember I loved her. I just saw this woman that represented a lot of young girls being smart, being beautiful. Now she's a mom of like 3 boys or 2 boys. I still follow her. So it wasn't that I was completely removed from her because, Gingamla, I can't see myself in her.
Would you have felt the same if it was a black woman?
Oh, probably.
Exactly the same.
Maybe I would have felt even more. Maybe.
Even more.
Maybe.
Even more.
I can't guarantee, but maybe.
Even more. We have to be honest. When South Africa and times are changing, people want people that look and sound like them. And considering the history we come from, where black women were excluded from South Africa. If you ever go on the website, by the way, for anyone that's bored, just go back to when it started and look at all the Miss essays, and you see the colors changing from 94 when we got all Peggy Sue Kumalo, Noba Sitsan, and then later Karishni Naika and the rest. This was a lily white pageant, and it's almost like the GNU now. So we're going back to Ongamla. This thing wasn't really for us. It was just for vibes.
Don't you think we're not going back, or rather we are truly embracing what it is to have a diverse country?
Do South Africans want that?
I mean, don't we?
Anyways, Olympics. I know you went to watch Ish. I'll discuss this one with Penson. Is that Penson in the back?
I can have TV.
What's up,
Hi,
homie?
Penson.
Sanibonani.
Hi.
I'm making my-
You're hugging people. They're giving you a mic.
Yeah, I'm a hugger.
Ah.
Ngikhathele ngigijima kazi. Unfit.
Yes.
All right. No, the other things I wanted to raise, I think I'm more with Penson.
But tell me, in your opinion, Ben, would you rather have a Chidimma or
Mia Leroux.
Mm.
So my opinion is very biased, and it would probably be like you and Rolene Strauss.
Mm.
You personalized it and it made sense to you. For example, I look at the Springboks, and one of my favorite Springboks is Peter Steph Tutoy. And there was a clip from the weekend where the ref was asking him something in English, and he responded in Afrikaans.
Mm.
I like him very much, and he represents many things about rugby that I care about. But I know for the average South African, they identify more with Siyamthanda Kolisi and Makazole Mapimpi. And if South Africans had to vote for an ambassador, those would be the guys that would get the votes. Which is why, again, the conversation of who should be Miss South Africa, what should it represent? To what Slim was saying earlier, a lot of people have raised that. What's the relevance of beauty pageants in 2024 when we should be focusing our energy somewhere else? So, I don't know. For me personally, I wish Miss South Africa was someone that could connect with the people, like beyond beyond looks, even almost to like personality. When you look at some of our celebrities that people love, you almost want girls to be told, you'll probably win Miss South Africa one day. Why? Because everyone loves you. And the way you represent people, and the way like when girls are done wrong, you stand up for them. And the way that even when the guys were complaining, it was like, send her. She'll be the one. You're like, that's the one. So that even if you go globally and you don't win, we're like, it doesn't matter. We'd rather you than anyone else. But if it's just about beauty and world peace,
But
then okay, keep doing your thing. Dala.
No, guys, how many doctors do we have in Miss South Africa pageants? Qualified people. Even Zozibini, I think she's got a degree in education, if I'm not mistaken.
So technically, yes. But it's like Musam Tombeni. Oh, doctor, but you know, if there's like a
what?
medical issue, you're not going to call him Musam Tombeni. He's not the guy you think of like, oh, snap, we're getting locked down. Call Musa. He doesn't come across as an ambassador for doctors. It's a, by the way. That's what I'm kind of saying.
So you're saying, what are you saying? Somebody who's the best in their field should be representing us at
No.
Miss SA. What are you saying?
I'm saying that when Miss South Africa comes out, even gents must be like, hey, let's hear what she has to say. Because hey, this beautiful mama here, hey, when she speaks, everyone sits up. We're not doing a favor. Oh, we've got Miss South Africa. What do you have to say, Miss South Africa? Well, I just want to say thank you to the guys. When you're like, hey, we're just giving her a chance to talk, but we don't really care. You want someone on the impact. Koto muhle. And food mela be muhle. When she comes in the room.
I feel like Zozibini
Even-
was that. I feel like Rolene was that.
But Zozibini, it's in retrospect because she won. This is what I'm trying to explain, right?
Mm.
You're going to use an outlier like Usia Kolis. Sia Kolis is an outlier. We'd like to see more of him. And the argument we're having now is, if we're moving from Usia to other white rugby captains, what was the point of bringing him? What was the point? Because we're going back now to exactly what was there before. You get what I'm saying?
Not that I don't
Uthanda
get what you're
belungu.
saying.
Uthanda belungu.
I just
That's the bottom line, and it's okay.
I think we're allowed to, if the cat is black or white, it doesn't matter as long as it catches mice. We're allowed to be that country.
We can't be that country. We're too sensitive. And the world is changing. We're woke. The world is changing. We can't be that country. You know the danger in allowing people to sell, I'll call it meritocracy, because that's what it is, and I believe in it, is it ignores all the problems with the system. So what you were saying, we need to celebrate an all-woman panel. How many times have men, if you don't forcefully have women sitting on a panel, it won't change. But guys, don't you want to just get the best judges? Because you didn't argue that for judges. I don't care if it's male or female.
I did argue that. That's why I said right now we've had male judges in the past. We didn't argue against it.
But what if they were
That
good
means
enough?
right now we just got the best judges, and the best judges happen
You're
to
assuming.
be female.
You're assuming. No, I'm asking.
My argument was that they're probably the best judges for
Oh,
the
probably.
season. I suka.
No, I'm asking.
We're only second guessing that they're the best because it's a full female panel.
No, I'm not
Yes or
second
no?
guessing. My only thing was gents should be able to pick Miss South
And
Africa.
they've been picking Miss South Africa.
You said we've had men on panels for so long.
Yeah, so?
So it sounds like representation. That's all. All I was saying is meritocracy doesn't work because the people who have got a legacy advantage will always win. If you're like, guys, let's pick the best doctors, accountants, lawyers, it'll always be white people. Not because they're the best, but because they've had the opportunities for that long. And the system is theirs. Because already you're going to be testing them in English and Afrikaans. So you don't even know if they are the best. You know what I mean? So something has to change. But with that being said, because Miss South Africa is not owned by Otaki, Otaki must do their own thing. Create a new beauty pageant and get the hottest, most banging, and get gents to vote. Gents will be there, but like, no, we're going in.
They're live.
Maybe it's that thing of actually waiting to be included.
But it'll
It's like, stop.
We will end like, so you come to South Africa, most banging women, and then
And then you represent us.
way.
Anyway, gents will invite you to the what. Guys, we've got Miss Miss Mzansi, whatever you want to call it. The one that is picked by the people. For the people. The one who's just like Sanbona Ninjani, like, oof, she's here with her voice. Oh, wafika kodwa umntakwethu. The national flower. You know?
No, man, but this
See,
is
sorry,
a difficult
Tembele.
one.
Yeah, Pan.
Hey,
and
Tembele is coming
everyone.
with depth
Sorry,
again.
man. I just want to ask, don't you think though, like with this Chidimma situation, we missed a chance where we could have an intercontinental pageant where we just say, you know what, this is a new leaf that we're turning, and all the African countries can just like come and start something new, instead of like looking at, oh my God, like I want to go to Miss Universe or whatever. Just like do something like within the continent, and like
Like a Miss Africa.
Yeah,
that
I'm
would've-
literally
that would've
looking
made
it up
sense,
if we
you
have
know?
a Miss Africa.
That would have made sense.
Because you said last week that beauty pageants are a sport.
Yeah,
That's what you said. There is a Miss Africa. No one knows it. No one cares about it.
Stop saying no one cares about it.
Indian lady.
Oh yeah.
Miss Africa.
Where does it play?
Do you know what? I think the pageantry world is more complicated than we know, and maybe we should have gotten an expert to comment, because I do know that before Miss Essay would go to both Miss Universe and Miss World, and if they win the one, then the other one goes to, I think Miss World happens first, and then Miss Universe happens second. So if you go to Miss World and you don't win, then you move on to Miss Universe to go represent us there. But if you do win Miss World, then 2IC, which is First Princess, goes to Miss Universe. But now the rights for Miss World or to take to represent Miss World have been bought. So whoever wins Miss SA can't go to Miss World. They can only go to Miss Universe.
You.
Yeah, so it is. And if I'm not, actually, I could be getting the thing wrong. I could be getting names wrong. But I think Carol Bauer runs her own Miss South Africa World or something like that. That's the ones that can only go to Miss World. And so, but basically what I'm getting at is it's more multi-layered, and I also don't know all the details, but I do follow a little bit of pageantry. And so it's more multi-layered than like what we're making it seem here.
Do you think it's important, Miss South Africa? Do you think beauty pageants should be given the hype that we...
I've enjoyed beauty pageants since I was a little girl. And like I said, you know, the Relene Strausses that turned out to be medical doctors, the Tamron Greens, like, oh my gosh, you just wanted to be that person who's smart, who's beautiful, who's a mom, who's homely, who's just an all-rounded woman. They've always been representatives of that for me as a little girl. And I know that I speak on behalf of like a plethora of girls. I can think of all my friends who wake up to watch Miss Essay.
We used to watch Miss Essay. Tobias. Yeah, my mom.
Yeah, but
You know, when you
remember,
grow up with your mom, you watch The Bold and the Beautiful and Days of Our Lives. You know, you don't want
remember when Basitsana was still Makhalemela?
Sure.
Right, and she won. It was a thing,
was a
guys.
huge thing
It was a
Nigga,
thing.
we know Karishni Naika. Hey, see that? I was it. From KZN. Ha, 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 ha.
People loved Karishni Naika.
Hey,
And she
we
was
love
Indian.
that lady. And India, Miss Africa, India.
KwaZulu. Namandia.
Hey, such a Buddha.
Yes, guys. I think the beauty pageants are important, and for little girls, like I'm saying, a lot of us always looked up to them to be smart and
So we
beautiful
should make them a thing.
and all around. It is a thing,
But that's why we must complain and be like, for example, here's another example. Should we maybe have them both on the same evening? Because if Mr. South Africa, no one cares about it, that means we're being left behind. Who do the little boys look up
Kitty
to?
bodybuilder.
Those Mr. Bodybuilder. Well, Mr. South Africa
Okay,
normally looks
but
like it's pop,
No,
weird.
but you guys have rugby
half
and you
feminine
guys
gents
have
that are there.
soccer. You've got other stuff. No, but you've got soccer.
Do you guys know Mr. South Africa?
To be honest, I knew one person that enrolled and I thought it was funny.
But
You
it's,
thought it was
I never
funny.
looked at him the same after that. I just looked at him like I got attention. So, yes, I'm owning up.
No,
I'm
but-
owning up that perhaps that was problematic. But I remember just being like, this guy. Okay, now Mr.
it's
South
usually those
See ya.
guys that eat a burger with a fork and knife.
Africa.
Or maps.
Yeah, we'll edit that part out because. No, but on the real, look, to Sia's point, and he's right. I wouldn't be surprised seeing someone like Mohale at Mr. South Africa competing.
Who's my...
Mohale is Somizi's ex-husband.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised. And yes, Maps Maponyane. I wouldn't be surprised by some of those gents being there because it seemed like that type of vibe.
No. Okay, the guy that I knew was actually, he was quite masculine.
No, how I didn't say they're not masculine. I'm trying to explain that like the type of guy that the guys that seem to go there, it won't be your typical gent.
But you don't watch it because they are. No, guys, I disagree. You don't watch it, Pen.
Do you watch it?
Well, I've caught a little bit. Like when that guy was thingy. Guys,
Which guy?
Mr. South Africa, I'm not going to say his name. Mr. South Africa's not that bad, really. Kibo Gents. It's Kibo Penson, like you said.
Penson look like he'd enter for.
Yeah, he does. He does. And a Penson Iki Gents.
Penson looks like he'd enter for Mr. South
Yeah,
Africa.
mina,
Kitchen.
Mohale, uMaps, nobani futhi?
Yabo amachita
Let me tell you
afana no.
something here, Penwa.
Amachita afana no Katlego Mabui.
I don't know.
Yamo Katlego Mabui.
The outro
Change
guy.
riding. Those look like the type of Mr. South Africa contestants.
Okay, so what type of Mr. South Africa contestant would you want?
We'll see. Akolis is a bad example. Vusi Tembe, maybe Vusi.
Vusi Tembe,
Some people would like Vusi. Who else? Who are the guys that women think are hunks in this country? And we also don't have hunks. We don't have good, positive,
who's
strong
that guy from
male role models.
from Shaka Ilembe?
You see those guys?
Yarrr.
Though Shaka
The
Ilembe.
yellow bone.
Yellow bone.
Yeah, with the dimples.
Who's Shaka Ilembe?
Yeah, he's the one that's dating the colored girl in Shaka Ilembe.
Wait.
It's just been a while since I think played. Yeah.
He's not a yellow bone. He's a yellow bone.
That's what you're stuck on, the yellow bone or not.
No, I was trying to think of who you're speaking about, but then when you said yellow, you threw me off.
In comparison,
He
to
plays
Dingiswai.
he stole the series.
Let me see that picture.
Sure. You see, now imagine if you have an opinion on Mr. South Africa.
Yeah.
No, umakhoba uphuti omdala kwimi.
Yay!
What's that show? The Wife.
Uh-huh.
Those are the O's.
I'm telling you.
So yabona
I
sithiwa
could
Mr.
watch.
South Africa kuthiwa machita
I could
sefikile. That's what I mean. Yeah, actually shout out to those guys, man. The Wife guys and Ushaka Ilembe. Those are the type of O's. You know what I mean? And they mustn't come and speak English as well.
Temingosi akakena ngasheba yashim.
Sanibonani hayi njoba
I
said
could watch it.
Mr. South Africa.
Mina here. Penwell sukani.
I'm sorry, Ursula. Suka. So, at least you get my point. That's what we want for the women. You want even when she's turning around, the guys are like, don't wait till she turns around. Come on, yay! And then the rest of the countries are like, what is South Africa packing? And you're like, yeah.
I feel like that's what we've been having.
But what?
Women that like turn heads.
That's what we want. You want an African woman representing.
When you say African, you mean black?
No, I just mean even if she's white, other gents must be like, Ntwana, I know she's white, but wait till you see her.
Okay, guys, hands up here. The lady that won yesterday, Mia,
Yes.
head turner. For the gents, I only want gents, head turner.
They don't know what she looks like. They don't know who he's speaking
She's
about.
hot, guys. She's hot.
No, I'm just saying they haven't seen her. Guys didn't watch.
Is Mia hot? Most deaf.
What is that? What? I don't get the joke.
I also don't.
Never mind it. That's dark.
I really don't get it though.
What's the joke?
I really don't get it.
No, just let it go. It's fine. Said
Oh.
most deaf.
For me. Yeah.
That was a bad joke. That was a bad.
Did you catch it? I didn't.
You didn't hear it.
Like most definitely,
Okay.
but he said most deaf.
Oh. That was Penson.
You guys
I
are
was a bit
so
slow there.
Stupid.
Trying to be
I
a
struggled to
mini
get
Sol
it.
Penduga uchekile
I
in the back.
struggled to get
with
it.
pop pants. Big.
I thought she was
Usola
she's
bakaze
beautiful.
bacabanga ubiza ngo big pan. Usola bakaze bacabanga ubiza ngo big pan. Big panisha, big pan. Sol Penduga.
You said Nigeria didn't win any medals?
They're making noise at the back there, sorry.
I'm saying you said Nigeria didn't win any
Oh, the
medals.
Olympics. I want to discuss it with Penson because I know you haven't been watching. Sorry.
What was my question?
She is pretty.
She's gorgeous.
She's pretty.
Yes, sis.
She's okay. She's
That's
alright.
that's a head turner.
She alright.
We've never had Miss South Africa EPAP.
Hey, Pap.
We've never had that, guys. Let's be
Excuse
honest.
me?
Remember Ludacris has that song, The Fancy Cars?
Yeah,
Zero.
yeah.
And the best women are in Africa. You remember when he shot the music video in Durban?
Yeah,
Remember?
I remember the song.
Or am I too?
EP at Durban. No, we've had many pop Miss South Africas. I
Never.
remember some faces
Guys,
now.
South African women are beautiful.
No, South African women are beautiful. But Miss South Africa, we've had some pop ones. I just don't want to mention people's names. But yeah. Oh. There's some Miss South Africas where I looked at them like, I'd never date this lady.
Nah, I'm sorry. Miss South Africa is always an example. Our women are top tier.
No, that's the problem. We grew up being told that Ipodio, Christina Aguilera, or Britney Spears, for the longest time. Oh, look at the long legs. Look at the Gantos is Schwab, fam. And once you hit post-puberty, and all of a sudden, you look at
Hey, after puberty. Upalesa that always messes up in Mondeling. Trappe van vergelijking. Upalesa butchers the Mondeling. Look, once men get involved, things like bum criteria would probably be included. Where it would be like, okay, ladies, it's time to turn around, and then guys, it's like, yeah.
Guys, this chat.
No,
No
we're
way.
going in.
This chat
Like
is
I said,
so problematic.
Miss South Africa
No
start ungbize ntwana
ways.
mabese beshaya the S category. Ungbize. That's where the views bump up. Turn and then okay, can you just a little bit siswam? You're like, yeah. Okay. I think she can represent us on the world stage. That's the one. Get in there, girl. You get in there.
I don't know what to say. It's a boys club.
That's what's up. So I should
It's a
become a
boys
judge
club.
on Miss South Africa. That's what's up.
What about judge
So
on
pen
South
all the
Africa?
black pen your thoughts. I won't lie, I'm disappointed. The quality of curvature this year, not as good as we've had in the last couple of years. So, I mean, South Africa is one of those places we eat putu. So I mean, ladies, where's the putu? You know what I mean?
Then you'll feel represented.
Be like, can we bring some marikis
Then you
from the
feel-
plus with the pampoon? Mariki, you know what I mean by pampoon. You know what I mean?
Then you feel
The
represented.
chance will be like, Pen, come on, man. Best addition to Miss SA ever. Best addition. I'd also ask these white ladies to say something in vernac. Just, one of your favorite lines or sayings in an African language.
But
I'm sorry, I don't know. Ubuntu, out.
Futek.
Ubuntu and Futek, here's one.
Watinta bafazi, watinta umkomoto.
Umkomoto.
Is that what you're looking for?
Wow. You want to speak about the Olympics?
I don't know much, but the
We'll close
Nigerians
off. I
didn't
know
win.
They didn't win any medal.
Really?
Who's laughing?
No.
Guys,
man.
we actually no, on a more serious note, for myself and for many people like me, we really, really love Nigerians.
No, we do. Personally.
For many things.
No, we don't.
Can I finish my point? Fucking xenophobic. We really love Nigerians. Like they're horrible
Africa.
quality movies and series on like we love them.
Absolutely.
The Afro beats, khona abantu abathanda ijollof, if that's what you're into. But
Favorite meal?
there are many cool things about Nigerian people. Very confident and all those things.
But I'm just sad they didn't
And then
win.
there's some Nigerians that just really do a bad job for Nigeria around the world, including here, that are really involved in shady things. And then they make it horrible for everyone. Look, the comparable in South Africa is there are certain white people, they just won't sit on a platform because they'll get cancelled. There are certain white people who just don't like black people. And it's because they've had bad experiences. When they think of the people that burgled their house, it was black people. The people that mugged their aunt, it was a black person. The guy that mugged her father, so she's like, me, I don't like black people. And it's like, but there's a lot of really good black people. So with Nigerians, there's like Nigerians that just make it horrible for everyone. And then when they get arrogant, even after being pointed out, imagine you're speaking about black criminality. And then you're like, but the thing is like, so you're defending. You're supposed to be like, look, the criminals are bad. But there's really good people. So when things like this happen, where they win no medals,
With their
my
full-
brother,
With their full beards.
0,
What happened now? My brother. Nice and tall, big bodies. huh?
but
Too tall to jump. Huh?
Yeah, man, it's
No, I must be honest.
it's sad, man.
South
Nigeria didn't win
Africa-
any medals.
South Africa and Nigeria does have like a bit of a tug of war. So when I saw the whole Nigeria didn't win any medals, I was chuffed as a South
You were
African.
chuffed.
Yeah, I was chuffed, of course. But I do love Nigerians, right? I've been to Nigeria, I love Nigerians. But they tried to take the AFCON from us. They tried to take Tyler's Grammy, and we just keep,
Take
showing.
Amapiano.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and they kind of
I
lit
love
up
it.
Amapiano and made it theirs.
When it comes to music, I'm gonna keep quiet because for me, Afro beats.
No. He's talking about hijacking Amapiano as if like they weren't paying homage to shout out to South Africa Amapiano. They were almost making it theirs, and it upsets a lot of South African people.
Yeah.
So
Okay, the song Particular with
Nasty.
Nasty. What would you call that? Would you call that Afro? It's Afro beats, right? And do you think there was homage there to Nigeria
from who?
from like Nasty?
It's appropriation. So appropriation is appropriation. We're
Yeah.
not confused with appropriation.
Yeah.
People pay homage. We'll know. Even black kids in South Africa when they rap, we know homage to American hip hop. But if we want to make it seem like it's like hey, Nenzan manje.
No, but when people sing hip hop here, who's like, oh, this is an American thing that I'm doing?
No, sorry, Swaggy.
So I think it's like one of the unspoken things that Afro pop is not South African. Everyone knows that.
Afro beats.
Afro beats
Yeah.
is not South African. So when Particular came out, people were not saying like, "Yo, this is South African."
South Africa is stealing
it's like-
Niger beats.
Yeah.
So
it's-
you're
it's-
saying
it was inspired
Nigeria was
by it.
owning it as if it was their own?
Yes.
So you don't have to say per se.
Yeah.
Which I wish I had the intel. There's a few things that happened
On
with
Twitter.
Nigerians and Amapiano. There
Yeah,
were a few
on
things
Twitter.
that happened where
Maybe I don't
South
know
Africans
the
took
full scope.
offense. It's almost. I'll make an example. People will tell us maybe what the incidents were. Imagine a Nigerian artist going to America and being interviewed. Yeah, Mapiano, we started it back in the what? You started it where? Hi, Baba. Don't do that. Don't come lie to
Maybe
people
I
and
don't know
pretend
the
like
full,
you guys
maybe I
came
don't
up
know
with
the
this
full
thing.
scope because I just
I also
thought-
don't know the full.
Yeah,
vibe.
I just
But
thought
I think there
they-
were some incidents that happened.
Also,
Swaggy.
a lot of Americans were saying that it's Nigerian. So Swahili, one incident happened. Swahili posted, "Shout out Amapiano," and then put a
Nigerian flag.
flag. Yeah. And then it went
Yeah,
up.
so that would be upsetting. And that might not even be Nigerians' fault. It may be ignorant Americans.
But maybe us as South Africans, we've got an issue around branding. I'm just wondering because remember when Beyonce did the Mapansula in Who Run the World,
Yeah.
and they kept crediting it to Mozambicans.
Yeah.
That
South
was
Africans
also like
caught
a
feelings there as well.
yeah. That was like how isn't that ours? You know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe we've got an issue around branding, and we don't brand as strong and as hard.
Sure. Right. So yeah, Nigerian didn't win any medals. South Africa got 6 medals. As Penson was meant to be here for this segment. We can't get another chair here.
Mm-mm. Penson come.
Hey, but has Penson even been watching the Olympics?
Of
Course I have. Turkish.
I'm an explorer, boy.
Can we say goodbye?
No?
Penson Mashit.
No, don't leave. He'll chat.
Well, they're getting a
Penson
chair.
Walwana, man.
He's getting a chair.
Getting
I
a
want to
chair,
sit with
yeah.
Penson Walwana.
Penson or what? You know people can hear you, so you're not whispering to me.
I'm telling the audience.
Penson?
Hi, Mr. White Nails.
Yeah, that's definitely Mr. South Africa swag. Right there. Painting his nails.
Why don't you paint your nails black?
And he has a nose ring.
Why don't you paint your nails black?
Yeah, Penson is there, Nabo Mohali.
Why don't you paint your nails black?
For what? Watch what? Yo, yes, when you bring women into a vibe.
Wait.
Yeah, you good. You good.
Penalism principles.
You good. No, I don't need promotion. It's fine. Side. Hey, I interviewed some people on the panel show, which was so dope because
What happened?
I actually realized that where penalism needs to go. Are you listening?
Yeah.
I need to build a school. That's actually what I need to do. I need to build a school.
It's one Anglia Kanye West. Donda.
Kanye's got a school.
Kanye West.
Huh?
Didn't a few of his videos go around? Hey, what's up?
Kanye West has got a school.
Yeah, didn't a few of his videos go around?
No, you don't have to cut. Please keep it going. Kanye West has got a school.
Guys,
Yes, he had a school
yeah.
with the rich kids.
Yay.
And they were all there, and basically they were just saying that school's a scam because none of them were learning anything that's critical.
Oh,
There
snap.
was no grades. You just go there, and if you are saying, "Hey, look, I'm a producer," or "I'm attracted to beats or coloring," they'll just put you where there's coloring or where there's music.
And my understanding
I
was
had no
there was
idea.
something about this school song being like an ode to Donda or something like that.
Oh,
I could be. I mean, we get these facts off TikTok, so you never really know
nothing wrong
the
with that.
details. It's Penson in
Lonnie,
frame. Should I move up a little bit? I don't want to hit.
nothing you want to
books.
get off your chest while we're here, while these guys are setting up?
Come, Penson,
Are you
come
sure?
closer.
No,
You want to give a shout out to your Kasi? Somerset West. Shout out to my Kasi, Somerset West. This. Episho.
Ekong.
Yeah, man. Hey, the racism in Cape Town.
Yeah, you're good.
Ask him. Yeah.
The racism in Cape Town.
Okay.
Lonnie, this is for you. The racism in Cape Town. Because now that you're speaking, you know, the number of colored people and white people that want black people to leave the Cape. Go back to where you came from in the Eastern Cape. You're like, Aibo, Zinja. Episho.
I experienced a lot of racism growing up in Cape Town. I remember that one time I fell off a slide, and it was like an excursion to the park. It was an excursion to the park. You see why I said I don't want to be here with it? And I slipped and I fell and I started bleeding, and I was the only black girl in class. And so other kids like ran to like help me, and then somebody else goes, no, don't touch them, they have AIDS. That's my experience.
wow.
Yeah, and I was a kid. Like we only moved this side grade 3 when I was 9. So like throughout.
Wow.
And I remember going home like, oh mom, AIDS.
Jeez.
Because I was a child, I really didn't know that this was a racist thing that they were saying. But also looking back, if I didn't know, she didn't know. She was taught that.
Racism is not going anywhere. Do you know after the elections and some of the things that were said? So there are, I'm going to catch heat for this. So there are zombies that vote in this country. Some of them vote for the EFF. A lot of them vote for the EFF. There's new zombies now that vote for the MK. I love Zuma, but they literally vote just because
Explain what a zombie is.
It means they don't think. They literally... Bacabang, CIC. We want the land.
Uring Penyuel.
No, I'm just saying, when I listen to some of the DA voters and the reasons why they think the DA is a superior party, they're also zombies. And then the racial stuff happens and you realize racism is not going anywhere. You can try and be intellectual and speak well and explain the nuances. People don't care.
Do you think black people
Racism
can
will
be
only
racist?
change if we change the system. It's the only, you need to force people to stop being racist. Otherwise, it's like prejudice. If you don't change the system, people just hate it. Who has hair like that?
Do you believe in...
And then all of a sudden, it's a thing like, hey, no, if you have that type of hair, mhlampe hamba uclean my toilet. Hey, ufuna ukuba high, watch out with that hair. It has to be systematic. So Swaggy needs to overthrow us and then be like, say, if you don't have the slim shady peroxide stand hair, then, you know what I mean?
Penyuel, do you believe in reverse racism? Can black people be racist?
It's not reverse racism. Black people, a lot of black people are racist.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe that. Black people are like, you cannot be racist if the economic and this. The definition of racism, because we didn't come up with the word, it's defined. It's not our definition. It's when you're prejudiced against someone else purely based on their race. So I like you, you're cool, I wanna, but you're Indian. That's racism.
Okay, but then
So it's
what's
prejudice.
What's the word that we're looking for then that describes acting on prejudice? Right? So the idea behind why blacks can't be racist is that we can't enforce certain things.
You can.
Okay, give an example. At a macro level, we can say this company high hirimago.
So
But we don't have the economic power to do that.
So again, the definition doesn't say it's only racism if it's mass scale or macro. It's just prejudice. It's like, well, I don't hate all Nigerians, just these ones with these heads. What?
Why heads?
Now make an example.
I thought...
Why didn't you ask this when I said hair?
Okay.
Why didn't you ask this when I said hair? Celebrate Nigerian got no medals. It doesn't have to be macro. That's all I'm saying. Prejudice. You see someone, you've asked someone to come to an interview, or someone's asked you to come to a job, and then you walk in the room and then you see then you're like,
systemic
black people hate
systemic
Indians in this
prejudice,
country.
where the prejudice has now been systemically implemented into systems.
yeah,
now,
but that's another word.
What's
That's
the
another
word?
That's another term now.
What's the term?
Oh, no, I don't know. Systemic, as you said, systemic racism. But black people are very racist. Black people don't like Indians, and they claim that for fair reason. And black people have a very weird relationship with white people. They hate them, but they love them as well. You know? Because when it comes to it, black people want to be in the school with like lots of white kids, and they want to work in the company with white
Isn't
people.
that like Stockholm Syndrome?
Think about it. Think about it, Pen.
No, let me think about it. Maybe it's Stockholm Syndrome. I normally call it cognitive dissonance, but
Cognitive ndoni?
Bona, we are here for the words. Hi, Benson.
no, it's probably Stockholm
I've
Syndrome.
got postgraduate qualifications and degrees.
Oh, okay.
My man.
come on, man. Ulinde nje ngiqede.
How are you opening the sentence like
Ngitshela ngama-parallelogram nama-watch moms. Yeah.
No, it's not Stockholm Syndrome. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah. So Stockholm Syndrome, it's when people start to sympathize with their abusers and even feel that the abusers are in the right. It's this psychological bond you have with your captors, where, and black people do have it, by
So-
the way, but it's not what I was speaking about. So
Okay.
you have a situation where you have to choose between, let's say, black things and white things, and you'll go with the white things. That's Stockholm Syndrome. What I was speaking about is the conundrum between, I would like black people to own the economy, but if I have to choose a job, I'll go work for Ungamla.
Okay.
That clash. That's cognitive dissonance.
Mm,
Yeah. The Stockholm Syndrome is when,
I hear you.
yeah, if you get what I'm saying.
No, I do hear
Yeah,
what you're
it's
saying.
building that bond with your captor to a point where you almost defend. Your boyfriend is
Yeah.
beating you, and then when people come, you're like, no, guys, but he was frustrated and
There was electricity during apartheid. That's Stockholm.
yeah.
Things were better
Yeah,
during apartheid.
yeah.
That's
Things were
Stockholm.
better during apartheid in Stockholm.
Versus,
Yeah.
I really want to grow the black economy, but I gotta put food on the table, so
Sure.
I'm gonna go work at a
That
white
clash.
company. That's cognitive dissonance.
Sure.
Oh, Lutlin. Class agent.
Penson, Olympics.
Ninjani? Ngiyaphila kazi.
Azosibuza wena.
You guys have matching tattoos.
Uba. Who's you guys?
Who's you guys have matching tattoos?
Who's you guys?
I just see that you set yourself up for something and I've been called. We have what?
Right here on your wrist.
Where have you seen our tattoos? Where have you seen my
I just
tattoos?
saw his. I just saw yours.
Where did you see mine?
I just
Where did you
saw
see mine?
Hey, Kalani asikho
We
comfortable.
only
Arklele. It's just cute. It's just cute.
You-
Okay.
Where have you
Askies. It's right here.
Do you know, I think you're the reason that people put the comments they put on the video.
Okay.
Like you laugh
What
too
comments?
hard, you say these weird things, and then we are jumpisa to the peeps.
Ungalahli.
Whereas me and you are
This
trying
is
to keep
small.
things on the DL.
Kejampisa. Askies.
So when you're like tattoos, oh my gosh, you know your brother also lifts me like this.
Flopile man.
Tattoo that he has done nje by his hayibo.
Do you also have a tattoo here by my wife?
Guys, this tattoo is on the wrist.
Hayi.
Okay, askies here. Yes.
Ungajumpisi.
Okay.
This is why you don't have women on panels. Ungajumpisi. When it's an all-male panel, all we do is we wink or we nod. And then you're good to go. Women are like, but you weren't even greeting me this morning. Don't tell people.
Oh.
You forgot your lunch tin. Hey,
Bo, why are you laughing so hard? You're my friend here.
Bo, you've been quiet today. Sorry. Your thoughts on racism, reverse racism, Stockholm Syndrome, cognitive dissonance?
I have been quiet.
Yeah.
I actually agree with Pain, but I think
like
it's a
this so
controversial
much.
thing to say. In terms of, I don't know if the word is racism, but I do believe that black people can be racist.
Very
as well.
prejudiced.
But I don't know, like, I don't know, there's a whole definition and stuff like that, so I'm not very educated, hence me keeping my mouth shut. But no, I do think we do discriminate, or what did you say the word, prejudice?
We're prejudiced, yeah.
Mm.
Against
I-
many people.
Yeah, but I think sometimes people don't want to acknowledge it.
Sure. I guess also if you've been a victim, right?
Pardon?
Like if you've been a victim, like imagine women where you're telling women, do you know you're abusive to your kids? Kanjani. The things you say to them, you're like, I'm a victim of abuse. Do you know what my man has done to me? And that you're like, no. You're also abusive. Yes, we take you a victim here, but nala, you're a problem. Because once people become a victim, they feel like they can do no wrong, which is generally women, right? Penson? Because they feel they've been victims for so long, they almost can never acknowledge that they can be abusive.
Especially emotionally.
Why was that person saboting?
No, because ngempela, I think a lot of us at this generation, we're carrying the sins of our fathers.
Hey, now if you're depth, no, I think we're carrying the sins of our fathers with our white nails. Sorry, sir. Please carry on.
Please.
Trapper van vergelijking.
I thought this was a safe space.
Yeah, it is a safe. Please continue.
Because ngempela, if we look at the generation above us, or maybe let's go two, they were very emotionally, financially, psychologically, physically abusive, And if you look at this current generation, I know so many men who have been physically assaulted by females. I know so many men who've been emotionally and psychologically abused by females. And those stories are not being told. We are hearing a lot about EGBV in the sense of men abusing sisters, and that is wrong, and we agree, but no one is talking about the story about the pain that so many men are quietly going through because of osisbet, So we understand the history behind it, but I think it's unfair for a generation that is being born into a system of equality, a generation that is born into feminism, a generation that actually from when you are in grade 1, whatever the case may be, your headmistress is female, your teacher is female, you go into the corporate space, your line manager is female, the MDs are female, so it's no longer like what it was X many years ago where a principal is a male role, the CEO is for men, it's no longer that. So now you have a generation that is saying, why are we still getting blamed and squeeze as if chastised, as if Yiti has created a system, And unlike generational wealth, this is not something that Obabetu could have left behind for us to benefit, It time at least share with nothing but debt, Whereas if you are talking about capitalism or money or wealth, and you're talking about carrying the sins of the fathers because you can continue to benefit because your father left you a farm and assets, whatever the case may be.
That's not true. Men do have male privilege. We do
No, but
inherit male
if-
privilege. It may
if-
not be money.
Everyone has privilege in some sense.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm saying, Guti, when it
But
comes
the
to
sins
certain
of our
spaces,
fathers, them making women scared, is something we benefit from, to be honest.
well, how do you benefit you?
A man can walk
as
into a
man?
group with like a room with 50 women and he's
How-
not
how-
scared.
How do you benefit? Because you're not scared.
Yes, because you're not scared. You get to
Okay.
dominate. Women, one of the saddest things I had to realize was there's this line that men fear going to jail for the same thing women fear just walking alone in the streets.
Mm.
That's part of male privilege.
Okay.
You can walk in certain spaces
I'm
fearlessly,
not
whereas women
blind.
are literally petrified. They get anxiety being in a space just because of what men have done in the past. You haven't done
agree,
anything?
But hear me out.
Sure. Sorry, I've got you, Lonnie.
I was just talking about, I understand privilege. I've got Zulu privilege. Ne?
The Zulu privilege. A privilege, yani, yenkatha. A privilege, yani, yokugida.
And
Oh,
people-
Ladysmith Black Mambazo.
and people who have
You can
watched,
scatamia.
and people who have watched TV for the past, let's say, 30 years understand what I mean when I talk about Zulu privilege in media. When you're walking in obviously, but in Joburg, there is a certain klasana. So there is that privilege with being Zulu. I understand it with being male. But again, what I'm trying to talk about it is from a systematic point. Guti, I don't think systematically we have benefits. As a young black boy who is 21 years old, I don't think that the system for that young black boy who was raised by a single mother who's a nurse is more privileged in that corporate space than a young black sister who is 21 in the same space.
You said this last week.
No, but ngifuna ukugcizelela for abangabukanga last week.
Yes. No. I'm just adding. It's not that I completely disagree, but I do disagree.
Okay.
And I think you're speaking of a fear of something that could possibly happen, but I don't think it's necessarily something that is happening right now. You speak
Okay.
of corporate spaces, this and that. Often what happens nowadays is you'll find that there's a black female at the top. So we've got a lot of black face. We've got a lot of black female face.
100%.
But the board, the exec committee
Is?
is still male
What
dominant.
type of male?
Okay.
No, but we have to say this.
Yes,
'Cause
white male.
I was talking
Fine.
about the black 21-year-old boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's still a male boardroom
Okay.
with maybe not many black men, but with more black men than you'll find black female.
In what spaces?
Who's,
Be
bu-
it
who's
corporate-
buying?
owners.
Who's buying girls' drinks? Lonnie, I've still got you. Who's buying girls' drinks?
Manager and la watsanda.
Get it entrepreneur.
Ow.
No, no, I want to go back to that point. So it's this. We can't talk about a few and then convert it as the general.
I hear you.
Yeah, one. So Mina, again, I'm trying to go systematically with what is happening for the system.
But I don't think it's happening yet. I'm saying you're discussing something that you're saying, the direction that we are taking. And I spoke about last week, I said, there is this era that we go through where people try to overcorrect. Like people completely, like I feel like now people are making the turn. This is a bit of a sensitive one, but there's a turn with regards to African spirituality. People are feeling like their voices have been silenced for a long time. So there's a revolt that's happening, and we can understand that. And so you're speaking of like a revolt that's happening where everybody's getting women to the forefront, but you're making it seem like the fight is done and women are all at the. But that isn't true.
Maybe the
Of
mistake
this
that I'm
era,
doing,
maybe you're thinking of your children.
yeah,
maybe you're thinking of your children's
I was about
children.
to say, maybe the mistake that I'm doing is I'm talking about my lived experiences.
True.
You know, where I look at, let's talk about my children in schools.
Yes.
My children go to very privileged school. So when I look at the senior management, it is just female, you know, and it's black female. There's yes, the top board chairperson is a male, but is a white male. So I'm saying my little black boys, when they look up, when they're looking up, Guti, who's the principals, who's the this, who's the that, they're just seeing female, 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 black female, black female, black female, and then who's the big boss, white male.
So you
So
feel
then-
like they're not
so-
represented.
So then I look at the space that I'm in, the media space, you know, and I've worked in 6 different media houses. And again, you look at the senior management, female, 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 female. You look at the owners, some Italian guy, some guy in California, some guy from, and still the owners are still white male, and I agree. But when I look up, me now, who has been at 6 different institutions, this is media now. You're like, oh my gosh,
Okay.
you know. So maybe I am talking about my own lived experiences from the 1% schools, because it's like that in the 1% schools, and in the media spaces and the agencies that I go to. So when you have your own different experience, so maybe I need to walk around Nkoko or Riguti, what other spaces and how they move.
And
Sorry,
what is the
small
lived
comment.
experience?
Lonnie,
Can I
you wanted to
also-
say something or ask something?
no,
Oh,
sorry,
Asbo,
it-
sorry.
yeah, it
I
was
can't
me,
see in
but
the dark. My
moment
apologies.
Passed, so I just, it's fine.
The moment passed.
Yes.
Nice.
Can I
No,
also
please bring
speak
us back
to
to the moment.
I can't even remember.
Oh, you forgot.
Yeah.
Apologies. Penson
Can-
talks too much.
Can
I'm
I
sorry.
also speak to Penson? You spoke at some point. You spoke of men not voicing, the issue of being abused by women. But once again, that's the root of patriarchy. Patriarchy says you're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to share stories like that. So again, feminism is this fight against patriarchy, and there are parts that disadvantage you as well. And this is why my argument is both people have been disadvantaged. Both male and females have been disadvantaged by patriarchy. The fact that a man can't say, yo, my wife shabile last night, or my wife is abusing me publicly, openly, the way women do. Woman goes on a live with a blue eye, and she knows the world will empathize with her. Men don't. And that, again, is
Why don't
a
men do
ram.
that?
Because of patriarchy.
Because
I've heard
of
this
patriarchy.
argument.
It says that, don't come
can I
embarrass
disagree?
yourself.
Can I disagree again?
Yeah.
I'm talking to a generation that was raised by single mothers. So again, I'm not talking about a generation where kubo khona isibaya neenkomo. Hey miyadingilusa mina umkhulu wangifundisa lokhu babami. I'm talking to a whole generation abakhule bebuka iKidio, bakhule babuka iDisney's Cartoon Cafe. I'm talking to that generation.
Oh, but
Ekade
you
fry
don't
ipoloni.
know what Kidio is. Sorry.
Igenge le ekhuli fry ipoloni.
Yes.
They don't
Yabona?
know.
That's the generation that is now between the ages of 25 and say 40.
Yeah.
So again, when you're talking about not crying, saskhala thina.
Wait, ungasifaki sonke. Wawukhala wena.
Khala mina. Yabo. That generation is not what when we grew up watching TV, we were told we are. We weren't rich. We weren't Damon Wayans. we were junior. We are that generation ekhalayo when we go through pain. We are the generation that is talking about our depression, our mental health. We are that generation. If you go to any guy here, social media, you'll find multiple posts where they talk about depression, mental illness, their challenges. You might even see them posting them cry. The problem is that when men become vulnerable and we talk about it, because we have,
so interesting.
and we have, every lost man here has spoken about being vulnerable, has spoken about their challenges. And then what society does, society based on that conditioning that you're talking about, the patriarchy, the Shaka Zulu, that we know nothing about. We know just as much as you do. We get squeezed by everyone and we are told to shut up. And no one cares because men don't benefit from being victims.
Sorry, I saw Sia shaking his head, disagreeing with Penson. I saw Mbali nodding his head, agreeing with Penson, and I saw Swaggy kind of being like, I'm not sure.
Like, for me, I don't speak about it on social media, but I'd rather go speak to like a psychologist, for instance.
Sure.
You know, I'm not going to say on social media that, like, yo...
No, I disagree with Penson. So when you were shaking your head, I was with you.
But you do speak about it, ne?
To a psychologist?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, sorry, maybe what I'm trying to say is men now, this generation, is talking about it. Oh, yeah. We don't have that thing of...
No, we're not. You guys are not speaking about the same thing.
Oh, we're missing each
You
other.
are making an example of women speak out about their things.
Yeah.
Men have spoken out in the past. It may have been over a beer. It may have been at the barbershop. So we mustn't act like men have always. We're speaking out to women. Let's say to women. So women can hear. And that's what I think Usia is speaking to. The whole thing of, look, I wouldn't say on social media. So that still ties into Ursula's part of saying, it's because of patriarchy. What kind of a man would cry on a live video? What kind of a man got slapped? Come on, dog. And because of patriarchy and being strong, you end up not. And then that speaks to Penson's point of suffering inside because of...
Yes, and I just want to... Guti, there's this whole narrative as, again, when I speak to so many gents, where it's almost like we watch the same shows that you watched and we had the same idea of what masculinity is. Unfortunately, we, this generation, are not that. And we understand those guys and their benefits and their challenges and the this and the that. And we saw when Uthorn was in trouble and he bought 1,000 red roses and he was standing in the rain. We are not that. So there's a, and I think that's also why we struggle with relationships, because I think also it's to have an idea of what a man is or should be, and when they open their eyes, they see nose ring and white nails and bachinjile and it's not what they thought.
What's Jinjile?
So
what's happening to Swaggy's head?
So when you watch Shaka Ilembe and you see these guys like, that's what I'm, and then you meet Oput in real life and you go, huh?
Sia, please finish your point. I know you went done.
Nah, it's cool. Like, I was just saying, like, for me, I won't do it that way. Even for me, going to a psychologist was difficult.
Sure.
I won't lie.
I think that the media...
Yeah.
The media...
I see you.
Okay.
No, Ush, please go for it. The media.
To what you're saying, Pen, the media has put, unrealistic expectations. He's speaking of my wife and kids. And those
My wife and kids is unrealistic? Oh, okay.
I mean, doesn't the man own like a trucking logistics
does.
company?
He does.
You know, there are things that maybe unrealistic, but like things that generally people won't achieve in a
and
lifetime.
he's always at home.
Yes. But
So he's
think
a
about
rich businessman that's always
A lot of
at home.
unemployed
at
gents are always at home as well. They just don't own the trucking.
Blackish. Let's go to Blackish. Bo is a doctor
Who's
with
always at
5
home.
children who's always at home.
Yeah.
So these unrealistic. So when we talk about media standards, that's a different conversation. They're doing it to all of us. They're making all of us feel inadequate.
100%.
And that's why we're getting depressed. You're 23 and...
Sis must look like TV.
Absolutely.
And you're like, no, but that's not the idea of beauty that we believe in.
Yes. And so you don't look like that at 23. You don't have the job that you were told you would have. You don't have the children, perhaps, that you were told you would have at that age, or the husband that you thought. So those expectations are on everyone. That's a different conversation. That's now media and whatever. But when it comes to men and men's sensitivity, perhaps, again, your lived experience, your social media is tailored really well if you're seeing vulnerable men. But that is not the standard.
Yep.
Tembele.
Yeah, just to agree what Upuda Penson was saying is that you look at the conversations, right? what I've seen basically are what conversations like, hey, look, we want a man who's strong, a man who provides and whatever, but that's like, and this is coming from women, and that's like basically patriarchy or whatever, right? But then you turn around and be that man, and then they're like, oh no, you're too strong-willed or whatever, gaslighting, controlling, and then you become vulnerable. And then bazojika bathi, men used to hunt. Men used to do this.
So what Tembela's bringing in is that there are women that uphold patriarchy,
Absolutely.
which then oppresses men in return.
Yeah, and
No.
indirectly, but also it's like they want the best of both worlds. Like, for example, if I were to say, cool, I want a Han who's always dolled up, always pretty, always whatever, but I want her to be at the kitchen, and I want her to, you know, traditional. And then I turn around and be like, I still want to do 50-50 things with you. It's not going to be fair, right? You know what I'm saying? But then you get women that say, look, I want you to be this head of the household, but also talk to me, be vulnerable, cry, and whatever. But then when you do that, they're like, no, my nigga, go hunt. Yeah, but be a man. You can't express yourself like this. So it's like, they don't know what they want.
Women don't know what they want? Is that what you're saying, Tembela,
but
just
like
officially?
they don't, basically. You can't be a modern man. You can't be a traditional man. You can't.
You know what? I'm
At
not
the
going
end
to
of the
take
day.
this one away, being a woman. I remember on our show, The Conversation Capital, not advertising.
We'll bleep that out in edit. Thank you. Please finish quickly so Bo can speak.
I remember...
Bleep that out.
we
It's
had
not
this-
sponsored. Thank you. No conversation capital talk here. Thank you.
We had this discussion to say...
Where did you have it on?
The Conversation
no,
Capital.
no,
The
no,
Conversation
no,
The Conversation
Bo, sorry, you had something important to say.
Wait. So we had this discussion. We were talking about how men need to be more vulnerable than, and then Given called us out and he said, "But how many women are ready for a vulnerable man?"
Given is part of your team.
Yes,
at the
Given is part of it.
Conversation
Yeah,
Conversation Capital.
and he was even Bo doing the
It's
Lord's
important.
work.
It's because you can't just say given. Man,
No,
given.
I hear you. Given Masilela, part of the team, and he calls us out. He's like, "How many?" And then when he said it, I heard it because it's true. And I won't speak on behalf of women, I'll speak on behalf of myself. It's difficult. And I've had to. No, I have. I've
Did
had
you miss
to
all of you guys
unlearn.
there? Oh, you guys understand?
Zulu privilege. Ngizoyikhuluma ngesiZulu. Silambile la endlini when uyakhala.
Yo! Oh, the Zulus just woke up. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Hey! That was 50 cents. That was
No.
50 cents. That was 50
Okay,
cents. 50 cents said that depression is for privileged people.
Yes.
Because when you're hunting and you're pushing
Yes.
and you don't have time to be worrying about your feelings.
But also, it's problematic. And I've learned, I can easily say on my journey in the past 2 or 3 years, damn, this is really problematic. But it's not something I grew up seeing. I've never seen my father cry. And I know
Thug
that
life.
thug life all the way.
Shout
And I
out
know that
to
this
Mariani.
is... No, not Urala, but I've never seen him cry. He always carried everything within his stride. And that's the... and I know that it's not just me. Many of us have never seen our fathers cry. This is the standard we know. So when you're a young girl and you want to
unless
be
if your
modern,
father's Penson.
you want to be somebody who's...
My dad cries. That's going to be used in a few years. Or maybe it's my personal experience, but my dad
my
cries.
dad cries.
Sorry, Bo, this is your chance, Bo. I added that diversion so they can laugh, so you can jump in.
I would say that for me, 100%, I feel like I've had toxic thoughts and stuff towards men, or the kind of standards in which I think that they should operate and be. And if anything, over the past, 1.5, 2 years of speaking to Given, especially when recording the Conversation Capital sessions.
Oh, boy.
Given's
Does
doing the
this
Lord's
up.
work.
He's definitely educated me on that, in the sense that for me, for example, right now, I'm unemployed, right? I'm currently looking for a job, and emotionally...
In what space are you in?
Pardon?
What
Sorry,
space
your
are you in?
email address and where people can catch you on LinkedIn.
We'll put it in
Sorry,
the
sorry.
bio.
No, don't laugh.
What space are you in?
Advertising.
Advertising.
And what's your email address?
Advertising and marketing.
No, we'll put that in the description
I
if you
can
want.
do anything basically for my cluster company.
Strategy. Can you do strategy,
Not
media strategy?
really. I mean, I think I can do
Planning,
everything.
buying?
Wow,
Interview
you're
club.
making me shy. May I carry on with the...
Please carry on. We'll take this offline. That's how it's normally done, Penson. Sorry, you're looking for. We'll take it
Okay,
offline.
so with me having lost my job, it's been quite a journey, like mentally as well. Linking a lot of my worth to if I'm doing well in my job or not. I've had bed days, right? At the
Bed.
bed days.
Bed.
Bed.
B-E-D.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a
thanks.
solid pun, that.
Okay.
That's some bed
But
days.
if the same had to happen to my partner, and they were having bed days, would I have the same kindness towards them as I would, like, let's say it was Ursula, and you're my like, let's say it's my partner.
I hear that.
I think, no, not even I think. I can admit that there would be a slight change in the way that I would view.
Oh,
And I'm-
unemployed, Maro Robert.
And I'm not saying that it's healthy, but I'm just being honest here in the sense that how long are you gonna be in bed for?
I just remember those pictures of lo mama. Ugqoke izinto zesonto. Konje thina kuthiwa have you seen those pictures? That way you're sleeping and she's going to church. Hayi phela ngithi kuthiwa thina si-toxic. Hayi sosuke phela sik-traumatize.
No, but I mean, I fully agree with that, and I think
Ish,
that's
I
the
wanna
problem
jump in so
because
badly to
again,
this chat.
it goes back to that how we grew up. You know, the media really did condition us. We have to agree to that. You know, so there is that dissonance of
Yeah.
and you want to pick and choose, like build a man. You know,
And it's so messed up even for me to say that I feel like modern and traditional at the same time, because I can't deny that I understand contributing towards things together, but at this end of the day, even if we're contributing somewhat together, I can't help but feel like I want to be kind of led in my relationship or led by the man that I'm with, for him to take more charge of things. But what's that balancing act? If I can't allow you bed days or I'm struggling days and I want you to lead, but at the same time going 50-50, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out my toxic-ish.
Oh, let me jump in.
Hey,
It's my chance to
jump in.
shine.
Amajita wafana.
Wena nje ibhetri alipheli.
Phil boy, ngishaya power bank la.
Go Benny.
No, my first point was going to be crime. And I almost wish this conversation can get to a conclusion, because that's more important. You guys are speaking about conditioning and all those things, and part of what we need to be doing in decolonization and just us fixing our families is figuring out what we want and what we need. And it's possible to conclude, because people normally say, well, it depends on the couple. No, we can actually have a template to be like, these are the options. The man can lead, or the woman can lead, or you guys can play to your strengths, and then you must figure out which of these works, and there's a conclusion. We'll have these conversations, and it's important to have them, almost important like women and women empowerment and feminism. But in all the things that I've heard, I prefer a society of toxic masculinity, in the sense of I prefer boys feeling bad for not being able to get things done. I prefer boys suffering because they're failing at things. But I know what that leads to is the destruction of the boy or crime. Because this is where a lot of crime comes from, and many people who read crime don't. What's the end?
And drugs, that's a good one. And suicide. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not listing crime as a bad thing, by the way. But sure, the suicide and the drugs is on that part of you break down, you deteriorate. The crime thing is, we are khala slambile, where some guys like, okay, clearly this sending CVs and things is not working. And I know some of my boys who are providing for their families, but they're not doing legit things. E.g. some Nigerians. It's like, I say, I will provide. And in the world, it's a jungle. No, look, it's a joke, but I'm gonna close on this. One of the conversations I have with privileged white people and clever blacks, because clever blacks did well at school and they speak good English, so all the opportunities come their way. You've got a system that excludes the normal black man who doesn't speak good English and who didn't do well at school, or who is not an athlete. Or even if they are an athlete, Udlaleli Kaizer Chiefs, when he becomes 33 and is no longer good enough, he goes back to the batch of rubbishness. And I say to them, because Jacob Zuma became the face of this, and he's probably a bad example if you were to study him, but he became an example of, if the system excludes Jacob Zuma, Julius Malema, before Julius became his skinny jean and had qualifications, What are those guys supposed to do? What does Julius, who failed woodwork, and Jacob Zuma, who dropped out at grade 4, if the system is not inclusive, what do you expect them to? Are you hoping that they get depressed and take their lives? Because maybe that's what you want. But some of them at some point are going to be like, I'm not an athlete. They've got politics now. That became where like the bottom of the barrel loud guys would go. And that became an opportunity for them, tenders and the like. But in the absence of that, you go to crime. Because for how long am I going to cry? I didn't do well at school. I have a learning disability. I'm not athletic. My family's genetics are like this. I'm not a creative. I'm not a... You're like, no, Ntwana, my family needs to eat. And when I look at the system, all of these things exclude me. I can't even be Mr. South Africa like Upensine. I don't have a nose ring. So it's like, no, what I can do in faith is I can just nibble here and there. And when I come home, my family eats.
So
You know, and that becomes... In the trying to resolve some of these things, those become some of the conversations. But what I wanted to say, Bo, you want to say something?
Wait, why are
you
you
from?
pro this system?
Which system?
Why are you pro this toxic masculinity?
Sure. I'm going back to that.
Okay.
I prefer a society where men get things done because I think it's just better. And I do think a lot of us that were raised by mothers, I think some of the men who are in their fields need to get out of this man thing and look to their moms and what their moms were able to achieve within systems that were exclusionary to them, where they made shit happen. They couldn't cry unless if they dumping you into at an orphanage. The world is a jungle, and sometimes we do overdo this feelings thing. And if enough of us cry out loud enough that we're struggling and we're pushing and we're punting, then we must build something else. And that something else could be the taxi industry. That something else could be gambling. It could be cage fighting, where we're like, clearly this thing's not working. Let's build something for us where I can still be the type of man I am, but at least I had this conversation with Penson's father, I don't know how many years ago now. I was sitting with your dad about 7 years ago. I had this conversation with Penson's father and one of his friends. Both of them were losers. Both of them. Our father and this gent had lost in life. They were unemployed. They were living off their wives. They had failed at the life thing. And what I said to them, you know, I was like, one of the places where you guys failed is you failed to come together, realize that the system's not working for you, realize that you hate a 9 to 5, which most gents, especially black gents, hate, and then find the thing that works for you guys. You guys would chill all day and fart around, but you know that as a collective we're 500 heads of cattle, and every now and then we sell them. Or those cattle could be taxis, and you get to chill until it dies, but it's a comfortable space and it allows us to provide for our families. But men can't, because I fear that we're going to get to a point where we understand the feelings and we're taking our lives and, you know, we've been excluded. I'm scared of us falling into saying we have that preference of men kind of accepting it. Look, some of us will be losers and it's okay. I'm like, nah. I think, Twana, you must actually fight through it. And if it means you end up with crime, me, I won't judge you. Me, I won't judge you. Because we don't have an environment that is inclusive for all chance. And the crime thing can work in the absence of DJ or Bola. Some of the dumbest O's, some of the most untalented O's find themselves bepopa in life because of DJing, sports. And that's where you see their decision making, how they spend money, the girls they go for. It's dormless. But at least he found something to provide. Because after that, it's crime. Swaggy.
So, are you saying that's a gateway to condone crime?
It's a gateway to explain crime, not to condone it. And for the people that hear this explanation who have a problem, they must then, it's the challenges on them to fix the system to be inclusive. Because if you're comfortable driving your Mercedes-Benz and seeing crime, and then hearing why there is crime, and not wanting to change anything, then you deserve it. You actually deserve it. We deserve to have stupid political leaders because we don't want to get into politics. We deserve it. Do something about it. Otherwise, you will keep having imbeciles in parliament. So crime is the same. It won't stop. Again, I was saying this is the conversation I have with well-off white people. Pen, I don't understand why you don't understand. You don't understand why black people are stealing your cars and breaking into your homes. Do you know colonization and apartheid Yo, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, but you have a mansion and 5 cars. That guy lives in a shack. He didn't get a good education because you guys don't fund the education. He doesn't have job opportunity. What do you want him to do? He's not even coming to hijack the mansion next to you. He's just stealing your car so he can have food for the next 6 months. What do you want him to do? No, he must study where? He must work where? Where? He has to steal, Baba. And if you want to change it, Mlungu, fix the system or help us fix the system. I'm not endorsing it, but I'm saying men must do whatever it takes, because even if you're like, I don't believe in crime, yeah, then you'll cry and your family will go hungry. And then the other gents will be like, Konje, when Antwana morals, sure, sokubona later. Kota, nyana? I know sokuphathela igawula, it's fine. No, I don't eat blood, food. Oh, sure, Antwana. So nezi olet lakho ke.
There's a stat that I heard. I don't know how true it is. And it says 10% of men are the reason why, or populated the whole world. Something like that.
Hey, they what? Genghis Khan. Nabo Penzo. Benzani?
Obani?
Are you going to remember your point? Wait, are you going to remember your point? No. Are you going to remember your point? Benson?
I'm just.
Are you going to remember your point? I just want to highlight something. How many of us are in the room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many children do we have in the room? I just want to figure out who's populating the world. How many kids do we have in the room and who's populating? Sorry, carry on with your point.
And
all I know is I'm Genghis Khan. That was the important part.
Yes. I wait.
Please continue.
Chris excels. Again,
Yeah.
That we're populating the world. 10%. We're in the lead.
So I don't know how true the stat is, but it's a stat I heard that 10% of men that have ever existed then populated the entire world. And when I heard this, I went into like there's a group that we have, rugby group, where you've got the stereotypical high testosterone men, yabona. And then you look in a group of 150, how many of those guys are fathers? And you're like, yes, probably like 15. And you're like, that's like 10%. And you walk into spaces and you're like, you look at 50 men. Hey, how many guys have... And you look at, even in the animal kingdom, it's one lion with like 10 lionesses, whatever the case may be. So it's...
Why are you looking at me when you say?
What?
Oh, you're just... Oh, sorry. Don't you look at me like you have like one lion.
Penzo.
10 lionesses.
Genghis Khan.
Come on, let him know. You let him know, boy.
Oh, Chris Excel corner. You throw him off, and it sounds like I'm contradicting myself, because again, maybe, and this is going to sound a bit dark, maybe the universe, because out of every 5 suicides, 4 are men.
Natural selection, that's where you're going right now.
No one is sitting down. I can tell you now that generally, OCC don't sit down and ask themselves, why is it that out of every 5, 4 are men? What is happening in current society where he is 4 times more likely than I am? Maybe that is a way of getting rid of...
Jeez, natural selection. I knew you were going there.
Weaker genetic, yabo. Maybe it's the case. Maybe Amachita.
This 10% stat. Did you read it or somebody just?
No, someone told me.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
someone,
So trying to look for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
someone told me.
Qualified, he's not sure.
Yeah.
If it's
Okay.
real or not.
Okay.
So, again, you look at those things, because when Alungelo, you spoke about Itaima and this gent.
Who's Lungelo?
Penal, sorry.
Oh.
Are
you Lungelo?
Penal. God, Pen.
Get the facts right.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Sweet.
Please continue.
So, you spoke about Itaima and this other guy, and you said...
I wish I could say his name, but...
No.
Rather not.
And you spoke about how they didn't, or they couldn't think about ways of getting income. And I think that is the universe's way to say, much like I can't get any taller than I am, whether I try or not, I think people can't process and think. I think cognitively, and it's meant for them to be unemployed and broke, and for women to say, yay, angikho lapho, so that genetic no longer exists. Iphele, and maybe it is for the king,
I've got a counter take to
the
this.
king with the superior genetic,
The king has a superior genetic. Misuzulu. Sorry.
But the king with the superior genetic who can think in 2024, who can make means, who can look for opportunities, who has that genetic ability within him, for him then to have multiple and then continue that so that we can survive. And hopefully his
Very
kids
interesting
can.
theory. That's a really
Maybe.
interesting
Yeah,
theory.
maybe.
So you're saying next time I reject somebody on the basis that they can't provide for me, I was be like, nature does not allow me. Nature, I will be.
Because look, but
Jensen said
Nature.
that you need to.
But if you sit with most sisters, especially like even if you go to a sissy who's proudly feminist, who is about equality, and you speak to her and you say, if you had to choose, would you like a guy who earns less or earns more? Just generally within the dynamic, And Jobushilo says it openly, you say there is a part of me where there's times where I just feel like I'd love a man to take the lead, within my relationship. It's like the same way that...
At times.
90%
of the time.
Yeah, but so that speaks to, even though the system says it's equal, but it speaks to Connie in the corner where you like, no offense here, where it's hard to date a guy who's significantly smaller than you.
Damn. Okay, wait. When you speak about Usia being significant, are you saying Ursula is?
No.
Yeah?
Usia mfishani high.
Compared to? Oh, sorry.
I'm a tall girl.
Are you a tall girl? So let's take a tall girl. No, well,
like
he's
Ursula.
Usia is taller than the average girl. We know this.
Sure.
But I'm going for tall girls. So
sure.
Let's say you're a tall girl and you weigh, let's say, 75, 80 kgs.
Yeah?
Hey, wow.
If you speak to Lo Sisi Loyo, she would prefer Uputi, who is taller and is bigger than her. In that case.
Okay.
So,
sorry.
That's how winning the Olympics.
So when I speak to sisters,
they
they say those
Olympics
traditional
in other
things,
countries.
I'm speaking to now osisi abangama feminist, aba understand equality, abafuna ini. But when they speak, they still like a guy who's taller, bigger, and financially stronger and can lead.
Mm.
So that's why I was just trying to go into the whole subconscious. Maybe
no, I hear this theory. I hear this theory and I agree because you want to be a progressive woman, but how progressive is progressive?
Progressive.
You know.
So I'm going to be Lion King. Sarabi.
Simba's mom.
Figure scar and how she's walking with that power, and you're like, hey, but we ask to pay to Mufasa, so she then can be the biggest, baddest fucking bitch.
Biggest, baddest bitch. Is that where this was going?
Because she's a queen. You're born go to my home, but you like my bugu scar like let's talala this year.
Have you seen in
To be honest, I can deeply agree with this, even to the extent was tepu. Is tembu in Zulu. Like you can only bring that offer to the table if you're Mufasa. Auna abutiwa mukukuyana saying usiki 2 wives njani.
Unless Pelanai, he's fetching from lower than that.
Yeah, because I've got a cousin from Mkuku. That's Opetosis.
But he must be. Yes.
As long as Osis Bambona as the Mufasa within
the vibes.
Yes. No, yeah.
I had a counter to what Penson was saying, and it had to do with this Mkuku thing, because the people that are populating a lot are poorer people. It seems that the so-called higher genetic guy who hits the gym earns well. They're not having kids.
No, but I'm saying if you look.
No, I heard your theory.
Charles,
I'm just saying.
Charles Darwin.
Do you think
who's the
Charles
one that
Darwin? Charles Darwin.
He doesn't say Guti. The people that survive, or the animals or creatures that survive, are not the smartest. No, I mean, are not necessarily the biggest or the fastest or the fastest.
The bundles. It's getting late today. The bundles are ending.
And they say within creatures, it's not the biggest or the fastest. It's the one who is able to survive.
The rat and the roach.
The rat and the roach. So
those 10% men have given birth to rats and roaches.
So the shack dwellers. Because Sisi here, even laba puzayola, they don't just sleep no more no ba. Bayas guti one on kuko right. Okwazi ukuhlanganisa like vusimbawula no.
No, my counter is just from where you started this argument. I know you're kind of pivoting somewhat now and make it nuanced. It's just the argument of a king and a provider and a leader. And I'm just saying, a lot of the people that are multiplying, They get drunk in taverns, they live on a grant, and they have a lot of babies. And it's not necessarily the best quality people around.
No,
was my counter. That's all.
But I'm still saying
No, I
within
hear your
the
nuance.
Shack community. It's
I
the
hear
top
your nuance.
10%
I hear your nuance.
Who are within the middle class?
I don't know if it's the top
10% that are within the badban. It's the so much bigger. It's not because
Is your argument that women that are falling pregnant from more desirable men than the average?
Yes, within their environment.
You really believe so?
I really believe so. Because
Isn't Cardi B says broke men don't
because
deserve no pussy. I know that's right.
Let's just go back
Cardi
to the
B
middle
says
class.
what?
No, wait.
Sorry, we missed Ursula because Penson Kruma are cool.
Oh,
Cardi
what
B
is the
said-
song? It's on my lyrics. She says, broke men don't deserve no pussy. I know that's right. And then all the girls go, I know that's right.
Yeah.
And what do
Yeah.
you say as well? What do you say when they say all the
Let's
girls?
go to the middle
the
class.
song.
Let's go to the middle class, ne? Let's say we are being sexually intimate. Uput has a condom, Sisi has the opportunity of a condom. Let's say it's not being used. Ne? Now we're going to the middle class again. Usisi has the option of uvuke ekseni clicks your 20 morning after. Right? Let's say she doesn't do that.
It does clicks.
Clicks it me pharmacy near you. So
That's fine.
in umgwenyo. Where was Usisi?
Hey, the guys are laughing hard in the back.
Yeah, but I'll keep 149.
Malini?
Oh, is it 149 rand?
Malini?
Jeez.
Yeah. Benson spoke about it as if he bought it this weekend. It is fresh. He's got the receipt in his back
Currently a
pocket.
specialty scam.
Yeah.
I said too much. How much does it edit a little part? So now, usisi udai 42 hours yayazi ukuthi ehambe yothola lelo pills, right? Talking again, the middle class who can afford 100 what. She doesn't do that. She misses her first period. Ne? She misses her second period. She can still go to
Wait, starts with an
Mary
M.
Stopes.
Come
Yabo.
on.
She missed 2.
Malini ga Mary Stopes, Mr. Hypothetical.
I don't know. Saupe. Ekeche. Ngempela
Hey, yabiza Mary Stopes. Akusila go force court.
Una 12 weeks. 12 weeks. Yabon before uhambe and go to professionally and make baleli incwadi for what yabon. So you've got all this time so for usisi we had unprotected sex. I didn't get the morning after. I missed period 1. I missed period 2. For her to continue, she has to have an ounce of faith of the seed that is in her. Give me when usisi emita messenger it's a mistake. No, there was something. Because if
So
she-
same with the guy as well.
because if angithi umchita, let's say
Same with the guy.
but let's say stag you.
When a guy nuts in a chick,
No,
there's always a chance that he's happy
saying-
to have a child with her.
I'm saying Guti, hlambe stag you. Hlambe I can take the mistake of the night. Tina, we don't have the morning clarity to fix it. We don't have a month to fix it. 2 months to fix it. 3 months to fix it. Because this is all clarity.
Benson, this is a good point.
Yabon. Tina, because we can get excited and sense a mistake namhlanje. I'm not saying that people are always 100%, but also it's to have 12 weeks of fixing a mistake. If usisi akakuboni,
What's the solution?
if usisi akakuboni, uzo ekseni. Mase mvuka wathi usubuyile umqondo.
Damn.
Uyama ngaphandle clicks ingakavulwa. Ngempela baya uzo cause you like, oh, I don't even want the but I pulled young phone pull out. Already we are guilty. Ucabanga izinto eziningi, umile clicks. Awufuni ngisho. Once nje ngempela you understand ngizamugisho. So there has to be something within your loins. Esho ukuthi hey, that peasant guy is not too bad, man. And his child might coming up a grand.
Unless
Yabon.
you're willing to go without letting the father know.
No, but I'm
Which
saying
a lot of women do.
I'm-
Or you pick
Or you
another
pick another
father.
one.
yes.
Like,
Or-
it's not the best father for the baby. I think
I'm going to.
I think
people that-
Utembela would make a
I'm-
better
I'm-
father.
I'm going to people that can afford termination. Those sisters still have all the time for clarity. They still have the ability to, and generally, the feminist woke sister will take that option should she really not be ready at that time to have a child, and especially if it's genetic of lumchita, she doesn't back it. Then Osis is gonna go no. So I look at Osis and I say, You had 12 months to change, 12 weeks to change your mind, and you didn't. There's something about Luamchita that you backed.
Didn't mind.
Let's shut it down. I think we're running out of time. Anyone with any other points? It's also cool, your bundles are over. Your allowance is over.
I want the gents to name one country that welcomes Nigerians.
South Africa.
No. As well, whether you said Aswafuna Mandi, and I can agree, many black South Africans are prejudiced towards Indian people. But so are we to Nigerians. We think they're arrogant.
Is that true of South Africans and Indians?
What?
Black South Africans. No, not everyone. Not everyone. I was just talking about...
Sorry, Tembela is?
I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I haven't met a person who's black that has had a good experience with like predominantly Indian communities.
This is now the excuse.
Seriously, like everyone that I've met, from schools to workplaces to like the actual communities. Yeah, it's not black people saying, no, it's like I was treated badly, or you know
it's a reaction.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
What you're saying is it's a reaction.
So
it's not it's just like, yeah,
experiences. Okay, sure. So again, many South Africans feel that way. We're not going to say all. Many South Africans feel like that towards Indian people, but many South Africans feel like to Nigerians. When they think about a Nigerian, when the average South African thinks about a Nigerian, he thinks about a drug dealer, an arrogant person, a person who thinks who's better, umuntu onje. It's very rare when you speak to the average South African when they think Nigerian, they think positive, jollof rice, or no, we think of dibanj. It's rare. And that's a privileged South African who is in spaces with those type of Nigerians. But for the average one, akayiboni le positive okhuluma ngayo. Yena uthi no labantu bafika bayitshela ukuthi bangcono kunathi.
You're arguing that South Africans love Nigerians.
No, I'm arguing against that. I'm saying we don't as a general. The same way that as a general, black South Africans are bawafuna mandi as a general. Me, who was very privileged and was in other privileged spaces with Amandia, I didn't have bad experiences with Amandi. So for me to say, those were my boys. So, but I don't speak for the average South African who worked at Evauda, I can't speak for the average black South African who is going to a club and can't afford a bottle. I can't speak to that, because chances are mina naelo amajitu ibu so still sobabila yabona so suppose amabhodlela starting intomzini. So again, I've got positive experiences, but I know whenever I walk into spaces how people see Zimbabweans, how people see Nigerians, how people see those type of nations as a negative. We don't have the same experiences with Botswana people. We don't have the same experience with Namibians. Black South Africans don't have a problem with people from Botswana. We don't have a problem with people from Swaziland. But when it comes to Nigerians, we do.
Okay. Two things. With India...
We have to shut it down, by the way. Yeah, I've got two people that run. I know Penson has sucked all the data.
I'm not a runner, Mar. Not like Penson. Sorry. So, with India, outside of India, my understanding is that KZN has the highest population of Indian people in the world.
It's debatable, them or the UK.
Or London, yeah.
Okay, but we're coming in quite close. So for
we
people
used
that
to be number one, apparently.
Okay, for people that dislike Indians, is that practical? So there's some sort of dissonance happening. There's some sort of right. Secondly, with Nigerians as well, Zimbabweans as well, maybe we can argue the whole illegal whatever. But there's a lot of them here. Do we really hate them? Do our sisters really hate them? Many sisters are hoping one Nigerian.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the general sister.
So we're shutting it down. Let Ursula finish her point so we can close. We also have to leave the studio.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm trying to manage.
Yeah.
How much do we hate?
It's okay. Let Ursula finish her point.
Point number two would be around language. So you speak of Botswana. You speak of Namibia, which they speak Afrikaans for the most part. Botswana, they speak Tswana. Swaziland, they speak Swati. Lesotho, they speak Sotho. So there's something about language that breaks down barriers of difference.
We don't have a problem with that.
No. Let Ursula finish her point so we can shut it down. Wait, Penson.
Just because my Cape Verde are hot. No, don't lie.
Penson, I'm going to have to shut you down. Please let Ursula finish.
This is not true. Where language is no longer a barrier for people, there's hardly... Not this is a bit of a difficult. Not that there's no contention, but a layer of contention is removed.
Fact.
So the examples that you're making specifically around once somebody can speak a native language in South Africa, we are softer to them. You know, so yeah.
Any other closing remarks?
Closing remarks.
Just in general. Today's episode, anything you want to
It's
say to the
Women's
peeps?
Month. Celebrate women, love women.
Still.
Have you been getting gigs? You spoke about gigs. Have you been getting gigs?
Not enough. Add
More gigs. Anyone want to say something in closing as we go? Lonnie, thank you so much for visiting us. Please travel safe when you go back home to the independent Cape.
Can I ask them to give topic ideas? Are you going to invite me again? I don't know if I'm being invited again, but if I am, topic ideas there. People want us to discuss other things. Yeah.
Anything? Mbali? Sia? Bo? No more Chuck Norris. Jeez, Drakes.
Men are Drakes, not Chuck Norris.
Think about it.
And that says the most silent man in the room.
I just want to say I'm not celebrating all women this Women's Month.
Yeah? Wait, before you give the mic away. Before you give the mic away. Which women are you not celebrating? Example.
Why are you mad?
Wait, tell me which women are you not...
Celebrating
Which ones aren't you celebrating? Give a name
And
and
why?
a name.
A name?
Yeah.
No, I don't have a name.
Given an initial.
Or the kind of woman you're not celebrating.
This is why women must
Starts
not
with
be
a
on a
B.
judging panel. Sia, my man, safe space. Just the type of woman that you feel like don't deserve to be celebrated.
Yeah, I like those ones that create generational problems. Like for instance, if she knows I'm not the father, what was
Yeah.
that?
They don't
Those
deserve
type
to be
of
celebrated.
Problems.
She won't kalela you. A reality show will come to our house. Bo,
Those type of women.
Bo, anything from you?
Send women money.
Yeah, we can edit
My
that out
number
as well.
is-
Probably not going to celebrate. They're probably not going to celebrate you too.
No, I can see it in his eyes. I can
Guys,
see
thank
it
you
in
very
his
much
eyes.
for joining us this week.
I last words.
The thing is, you finished all your bundles, bro.
I didn't. So,
Clearly not.
guys,
Oh,
shout out to
fuck
all
me.
the athletes that medaled, South Africans. So,
Shout out to the All Blacks that lost.
The All Blacks. Sad, but you win some, you lose some. Shout out to Botswana, made the country and the continent very proud. Shout out to Ubanumia.
Mia Leroux.
You did. Huh?
Little boy. I just want to say a shout out to that the Cura boy that participated.
Yeah, he was
in the
ran
relay.
4 by 100 meter relay. 18-year-old.
The Botswana
From
boy.
Kuro Hazeltine.
Yeah. So shout outs again to.
Did you say Botswana boy?
Is he not Botswana?
No, I don't know
The
where he's
medal,
from, but he's
the 4x1 relay.
I-
The 4x4.
no. There's a young boy who was running with Abu Akani Simbine in the 4 by 100.
Yes.
18-year-old from Kuro Hazeltine, Joburg boy. I think
Amazing.
Joburg. I'm
Yo,
not
that's
sure where
amazing.
Hazeltine is.
But again,
But yeah, he medaled.
Just
So
shout out
he's
to
got a
all
silver medal.
shout out to all the South Africans that medaled. Shout out to all the Africans that medaled. Made us very, 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 very proud. Mia, who's the first princess?
Onalina.
Was
Ona.
it Onalina? I think it was.
I think so.
You know, now it's to
If I'm
hold
not
your
mistaken.
head up, hold your head up with pride. And yeah, man. No, man. My last words is there's a lot to do as a community. As Tanzanian, man. Shout out, Happy Women's Month to some women.
Yeah, man. Comments, suggestions. Really appreciated all the feedback, especially like, we can't hear the guys in the back. Topics, as Ursula said. And anything else you guys would like us to talk about. Again, if you'd like us to change the format, bring more people on, yeah, let's give it a bash and
And what
make
about
it
people
better.
that want to come and contribute? Is that possible?
You can suggest, and then they'll say in the comments, suggest to them, guys, if you want to.
Yeah. If you want to come, just let Peñol know. I think that's dope.
Where am I going to get these things? First princess, second princess.